Star Wars.
Star Wars. Star Wars. In space.
Go.
There you go. That's the official sound. Hello and welcome to the Mr. Grey Film Show, Episode 6, Star Wars Special. Hooray! I am your host, Mr. Alex Gray, and joining me on this occasion of talking too much about films, I am joined by the ever/hugely present Mr. Peter Cox of the LostHighwayHotel.com film blog thing. Hello, Pete.
Hello.
In a triumphant return, we have Mr. Thomas Taylor. I've pressed record, Tom. Definitely.
Word to your mothers.
We will be joined by Sebastian Worthington, but he's not here. And also, you already saw it, so he's needed.
So it's metaphorical.
Yeah. And for our newcomers, we have Mr. Thomas Salt and Mr. Christopher Snelling.
Hi.
Applause!
Hello!
Yes, welcome.
Having
Hello.
ourselves already.
Hello to everyone. How are we all? Everybody answer at the same time. Go.
Glad to be on the show.
Christmas.
We made it.
So, on this occasion, we will be reviewing Star Wars: The Force Awakens. It's exciting, isn't it?
I'm scared. I'm a little bit scared.
Titters all over the place.
Which is a film that none of us have seen at the moment,
No.
except for Seb, but he's not here, so he doesn't count.
I think this is how we should do all our reviews.
Yeah.
What, a bit before and a bit after?
No, just not see
Just a
them.
bit
Don't watch
before.
them at all.
Only review films we haven't seen.
Yeah.
Like proper critics on the newspapers and such.
Oh,
Have you actually
for
made
sure.
it clear
That's just
yet that we are going to see it?
No,
No.
I was going to do that now.
Yeah.
So, none of
but
us have
not,
yet
though.
seen the film, but we will go see it at in about an hour. We're going to go watch it, and then we're going to come back and we're going to talk about it. But before the bit that's now, we're going to talk about if we're excited for it, or if we actually think it's going to be any good, or because obviously, first three great, second three.
No.
Well, by the first three, what do you mean by the first three?
No.
You mean
Everybody
77
knows.
through 80.
By the first three, the middle three.
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah, the middle three that came first.
Yeah.
And the last one.
No.
No,
The middle
Not the
one.
last
It might
one,
be the
that
last
is the
one
third
you
one.
watched.
Huh?
It might be the last one that he watched.
Oh yeah, what's the last one you watched?
I can't remember now. To be
Well,
honest, it's been
how-
a while.
Definitely one of the good ones
I
then.
don't know how I'm going to answer your question.
No, that's fine.
Okay.
Was it the one with sabres in it?
Yeah. So obviously
No, it
the
wasn't.
what? Shut up. So the first three, great. The 70s, 80s ones, everybody loves them. Perfect films. Kind of. But then obviously there's the early 2000 ones, and then again, and everyone thought they were going to be great because it's more Star Wars. Who doesn't want that? And then they were
George
awful.
Lucas, apparently.
Yeah. And then they were fucking awful. So the new ones are Disney. Okay. You hear Disney have bought Star Wars off of George
Yeah,
Lucas.
but
I hear Disney, I see Disnep. That's how I always saw it as a kid. I never
Disnep.
really understood why there was a P on the end on their logo.
yeah,
Okay.
they just want to take over the world, don't they? Why they
I have an open mind about
take everything.
Disney buying it.
Yeah.
I'm not a big Disney fan, but
It's Seb! He's
Hey!
here! Welcome.
Welcome
Sit
to
down.
the room.
Sorry, I'm running late, but I can enjoy. Oh, I've got cushions and everything.
So has arrived the man who's actually seen the film, and he will say nothing about the film in
I'm
any
not going
way
to spoil anything. I would not want to spoil
No.
it. I wouldn't do anything like that to
Okay.
destroy the magic.
Well, you will now revert your mind back to a state of last Thursday before you saw. Alright? Magic.
Yeah.
Okay, it has now occurred.
It's there's a lot of anticipation for it.
Yeah.
But I have to say I was very tired because the day I watched it, I was
Whoa!
like,
you haven't watched
you
it.
haven't watched it.
Yeah.
We're,
Okay.
we're before you've watched it.
Okay, sorry, let me give you.
Right, the day I'm going to watch it, but I've woken up at 4 o'clock in the morning and travelled to Kent and back for work. So I'm back in Exeter for 5 o'clock and seeing it at 8:30.
Yeah, by the way, for anyone who doesn't know, Exeter and Kent are reasonably far away. So
Yeah, so about
Why not?
400 miles of travelling and then coming back and then thinking, yeah, I'm going to watch it. I managed to stay awake because, excitement. I was so looking forward to it. I wasn't sure. I tried to
you are
avoid
so looking
spoilers.
forward.
I am. I've got to remember.
And
to
you
speak
will
in the
stay
past.
awake.
Yeah.
I will
Yeah.
stay awake.
Yeah.
Yes.
Even
Had
though
a
you
very
have-
long day.
Is the anticipation of seeing a Star Wars film. The first time I watched it, I was 5 years old. And the excitement of new films, and then being a bit older, and the excitement of watching the prequels, and the bitter disappointment that I had with those. I'm sure that's been covered.
I think
Well,
we've actually just come full
yeah,
circle.
we-
That's what we were just mentioning.
I
Yeah,
suppose
so-
that's the
excellent.
thing that's making it like so great to see us because we've all grown up with it from the beginning. So like,
See,
that's
I
quite important.
haven't, which is maybe why I'm the one in
No,
the room that doesn't
no, I
give a
haven't.
shit.
Well, you first watched it when you were what, 19?
19 or 20, yeah. And it was, I missed the boat a little bit, I think. It was just a kids' film to me, and it still is. It's fine.
Yeah,
Kids
I
film. There was burning skeletons in the first one.
oh, the
Yeah,
first
but
one's pretty
they don't use
dark in
certificates.
places.
Okay, so obviously everyone likes the originals. No one likes the prequels. George Lucas, please don't make any more. He sold them to Disney now, or Disney.
Oh yeah, that's what I was saying.
Disney,
Right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Will you now stop fiddling?
Let it lie.
No, I kind of don't have a problem with that because, yeah, I'm not a big fan of Disney, but they bought Pixar and then left Pixar the fuck alone to do what Pixar do because they're like, you do this as good as you do.
yeah, but
Well,
you
yeah,
don't
but then
want-
we've got the flip side of that, where Disney have picked it up after the
Yeah.
episode 1, 2, and 3.
it's
Where
already
that's
fucked up.
really not the case.
Yeah, they're not
Already
picking up a
ruined.
studio in their prime and then going, okay, we're just going to support you in everything
Granted.
that you do. They are then going to hire in all new people and make it their own deal. So now Star Wars is a whole Disney affair.
Well, which they have done because you've got the TV series Star Wars Rebels, and you've got the Lego and the toys with that, and the merchandising.
God,
There's
the
the
merchandising.
spending. I mean, how early was the merchandising for this film released?
Months before.
Of course.
All the
Yeah,
Lego
it
sets,
was
all the
in trailer this
characters.
time last year.
Yeah.
It was exhausting.
Well, I mean, you can buy a bag of grapes with Yoda on it. I mean, Disney have gone fucking mental.
Darth Vader oranges.
Yes.
Because they're the same colour as the Death Star.
Well, do you think he would have been less intimidating if he was like
when
bright
they
orange?
finished that fucker, it would have been orange.
The paint job. They didn't get to the paint job.
Or maybe they said, "Hey, orange, get it?" Because it's like the lava that burned him. It's association.
No, I'm pretty sure they were going to do a flame paint job on
Or is
it.
it just the colour it goes as it's burning into the atmosphere as it's coming into one of the planets?
Right,
Coming
so
at ya.
Just 'cause it's
Well,
nice.
Like a
something
chaffinch.
with the merchandise coming out early. Big thing about the original Star Wars movies is characters didn't really gain their proper names. They just had job titles. Like Boba the Fett wasn't called Boba the Fett. He was called the Bounty Hunter. But his toy was released. Boba the Fett, the Bounty
Sorry,
Hunter.
Robert.
Robert Fett.
Yeah. Thanks. So the merchandising was released, but in the second film, when he appears in the first film, but he's called the Bounty Hunter.
Yes.
Then his toy comes out called Boba the Fett. Then he gets referred to in the films as Boba the Fett. Same as Emperor.
Sorry, can I just
Palpatine.
interrupt? It's not Boba the Fett.
Yeah,
No,
it's
there-
really
there is
grinding.
never-
Sorry, I had to.
Yeah, it was grinding me a bit as well. It's Boba Fett. Come on, what
Darth
are you doing?
Vader.
Luke the Skywalker.
Oh, fuck
See
you
the
all.
3PO.
It's a little thing, Tate, but still.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you're saying with the Emperor,
Yeah.
he was just called the Emperor. It wasn't Palpatine. The Ewoks weren't even
I'm
named
so
as
about to
well.
call him Palpatine as well. I watched a different edit.
I don't want to see that, Ed.
Okay, so what's going on here? Oh no, somebody say something.
It's fine. What's next on your notes?
But again,
Alan?
so
Well,
the other thing
well,
is-
actually, a large part of my notes is shouting at you because you've already watched the film.
Oh, yeah, that's all right. You can do that. I had to because yes of family relationship issues.
Okay. Right, so
Let's just gloss that over.
oh, yeah, all right, let's move
That could
past
be
that.
anything.
Yeah.
I like that. Read into that what you will.
Don't-
Bring
don't
more
worry
of your
about
shit into the room.
Did you kiss your sister before you realised it was your sister?
it. Is that what
Was it
happened?
Star Wars related?
Yeah,
Isn't it?
it was.
Okay, so
Are we doing
who
that?
actually likes Star Wars here? I'm guessing you do. And
Show of hands on a podcast.
yeah,
Well done.
Yeah. Okay,
Very
so
visual medium.
Seb is our biggest Star Wars geek in the room, and the biggest dissenting voice is Pete. I'm guessing, who
Maybe.
doesn't really like them, thinks they're stupid kids' films.
Not-
Couldn't be less
not
interested. I've seen you
Exactly.
piss on Star Wars DVDs. I've not seen.
I've not done that.
No.
Empire's alright. First one, like New Hope's, quite poorly paced, but gets there in the end. Return of the Jedi's good, but for the Muppets.
It's
And then
good to
the
have
other
your
three are
enthusiasm.
appalling.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Salt.
Like, I don't know. I'm not massively hyped up about it. It's like I haven't
No?
got the whole like, oh my god, it's gonna. Oh.
No? Have you
No,
not seen the trailer? I mean, come on.
No, I've kind of tried to keep kind of away from it, to be honest. Because like I think as well, like everybody will go into these films with a huge expectation, and I don't want to get kind of
bogged down in that. Really.
yeah, and like hopefully it won't be, but like if it's then not as good as what they're hyping it up to be, you don't want to walk out and be like, well, that was shit, wasn't it?
And see, but that sounds
But,
like it's
you
an
know-
important relationship. It's like I don't want to let myself get close.
No,
I don't want to open myself up to get hurt again.
This is the thing.
I don't want to let George
We've
do
got to
that to
think
me.
of this as a relationship, you know?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
Well,
just don't hurt me.
No, I
you
get
know?
where you're coming from there, because obviously I really enjoyed the first ones. They weren't like a special part of my life or anything, but the prequels sucked, and I don't want to get burned again, especially by Disney, who Disney don't
but
care about my
The
child.
only thing that I'm kind of like intrigued on is whether it's going to work or not, though. Like it's been a while since the last one, and now they've kind of pumped like loads of money into it. So, and it's a sci-fi.
Well, you
film.
can't make a cheap Star Wars.
No,
film.
but you know it's a sci-fi, so like
I'd
this is
take
a
that
massive-
challenge.
Yeah, but it's like a massive opportunity for them just to throw, as Star Wars does, like loads and loads of CGI and effects and all this stuff, and a lot of films that's something, but
I'm
that's
quite
worried.
on the practical effects, which is heartening to everyone, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
It's a
That
good
was
thing.
one of.
Well, it's in good hands, isn't it, with J.J. Abrams?
That's something that is definitely
let's-
up for debate.
We'll move on to
but-
that in a moment. We can put a pin in that one. Chris, do you like the originals?
I like them.
Yeah.
Same as you, they were never really a
Mm.
massive part of my childhood. If I did see them as a kid, they weren't a massive turning point for me.
No.
They're there, I enjoy them. Then the others happened.
And
And
then,
then that little shit with the fucking ears. And we moved past that.
yeah.
Jar Jar living.
Oh, so
Yeah.
say not little shit. He's quite tall.
He's a lanky
He is a
I quite
lanky
like Jar
big
Jar.
fuck.
Streaky. He's like the lanky shit or streaky
Yeah.
pants.
It just reminded me of
Get
me
out.
a little bit, you know, a bit slow and it's the simple things in life, you see.
It's one
It
way to
is a
put it.
simple thing in life.
I don't see, no.
Yeah.
Tay,
Love
Star
them.
Wars for you?
Grew up with them.
Yeah.
Childhood stuff right there. Yeah. I
Okay.
just- but again, this after seeing the prequels and having that done to my childhood, it was a lot like
So that hurt you personally.
yeah, in a deep way. It was like realizing that you had once met Jimmy Savile.
Can we say that on here?
Did I repress that, or
Yeah.
did that really happen?
Yeah.
Well, I suppose at like the time, they think, oh great, Jim fixed it for me. You're looking at it 10 years later and going, he was wearing really small shorts though. What was that all about?
Is that a camera in the medal?
Yeah.
Why can't I remember that entire song?
Why is he giving me a bar of soap?
And moving on. So, when Disney bought Star Wars, I was skeptical. I was glad that it was out of the hands of Lucas, but I was skeptical.
And how much
because
did
it's
Disney
Disney.
pay for it?
4 billion.
4 billion.
Which is, yeah. It just actually everyone's like, that's such an obscene amount of money. It's like, no,
Not
they'll make that
film
back.
money.
They
That was
probably
a
made it
business
back already.
decision. So skeptical when Disney bought it, but not. I'm up for it still. Then J.J. Abrams is announced, and that doesn't necessarily change my opinion one way or the other. It just made me think, okay, well, this is the type of movie it's going to be. It's going to be a J.J. Abrams movie, which is just, I think I've said this before, as standard script is 100 pages. J.J. Abrams' script's probably 150, just because he rockets the pace along. Just everything's so much faster. But he squishes it all into 90 minutes somehow.
I think he'd done well with Star Trek, though, didn't he? That wasn't as a major
yes.
disappointment. Well, take all other Star Trek movies. I mean, maybe not the really early ones. Some of those were quite entertaining. But especially the Next Generation films.
Mm-hmm.
I would have rather watched any double-parter of Star Trek than any one of those films. They were shocking. But I quite enjoyed the new Star Trek movie.
But the new Star Trek movies are not like the old Star Trek show. And they
No, but
don't
it's a
have
new audience. There was
particular
enough nods
respect
to
for
it. He did definitely go, oh, now it's an action movie, not a
Yeah.
sci-fi adventure.
But then he's
No.
reinventing it for a
Yeah.
modern audience. I mean, and also you've got to remember with J.J. Abrams is that he was born in 1966. His dad was an executive at Fox, and so when he was a kid, his dad used to take him to see all these films. So he saw the original Star Trek films when they were shown to all the executives, and the same with the Star Wars films. So he's watching them as a kid, as a 10-year-old, 11-year-old, going, and so it's part of his childhood. So it's I think that
Yeah, you
having
can
somebody like that.
You can see that in the good bits of Super 8 as well. He's definitely got that affection for the Spielberg era, and this as much as that. My concern is I loathe the way he makes films.
Really?
Into Darkness is, I think, the worst film I've seen in 10 years. I absolutely.
Oh yeah,
hate
you
it.
have an irrational
I'm not going to go on
hatred,
that
yeah.
massive rant about how much of a
It dipped quite a lot in the middle. I got bored of it.
dipped
Ian
right
Simons-
at the beginning, and then it just kept plummeting like a
Oh, I don't know.
dart.
Into Darkness is just fine. It's Star Trek. The Star Trek film, the first one he did, is good film. Definitely, yeah, that's just a 4. Fine, it's good film. 3. The second one is a 3 maybe. Not as great, but it's not the worst film of the last 10
It
years.
is for me.
Yeah.
I give his first one a
Absolutely.
2, and that is 0, and I
What?
nearly never put a 0 on anything. I hate Into Darkness. If it was a person, I would push it out a window.
See,
Okay.
I've seen everything bar the last hour of the first one, and nothing else of the new Star Trek film, so I can't really weigh in.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, they are definitely.
And don't get me wrong, I didn't turn it off out of boredom.
No.
I had to leave.
That's something to do.
Spock gets angry.
Yeah. Yeah. So he has a very definite style, Abrams, and I'm a bit concerned that the new Star Trek film, the new Star Wars film, will be just like the new Star Trek film. Does anybody else think that's going to happen?
That's my
Oh,
main
definitely,
concern.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
hope he's tempered it.
Yeah, but I think that might be coming from the prequels. That might be a definite step in the right direction. As long as he gets the kind of sense of adventure.
Adventure.
As long as that-
But the thing with the original series is they had, I mean, you know, George Lucas directed all the prequels, but he didn't direct all the original films. Irvin Kershner directed Empire Strikes Back, and Richard Marquand directed Return of the Jedi. So having different people directing it, George Lucas obviously involved with writing and stuff, having people directing it and giving it a feel. So obviously they had to jump in and think, well, what is Star Wars? How do we make this feel like a Star Wars film? And they helped keep it together. So
That
having
is one of the things I'm looking forward to in these new films is seeing some of the modern talents.
well,
tackle it.
Ryan
But,
Johnson,
yeah,
Gareth Edwards.
Yeah, it's interesting to see how that works out.
Yeah.
That I'm. more
I think that was
interested
one of the
than
problems with the
any
prequels,
plot.
is that George Lucas had too much control. I'm the writer, I'm the director. What do people want from a Star Wars film? Trade routes and Senate agreements.
Yeah,
space politics.
Yeah. What Lucas thinks people want is off the mark, and the biggest problem with the prequels is.
Oh, I think you're coming from the wrong way. You're seeing that as George Lucas making a film for other people to enjoy.
You think it was all self-indulgence?
Oh, that
Yes.
was it was a hand shandy from moment from start to finish. It really was for. They got it right.
They got a rhyme. It's
They
like
got a rhyme.
poetry. Yeah. Okay. So, new actors, new people.
Excited.
Yeah. Who are they? What are they called? I don't know. That's not important.
We
They're,
got well prepared. Daisy Ridley, John Boyega, who was in Attack the Block.
Yeah.
Quite well.
I like him. He's
Yep.
very good.
Um,
I don't.
Gwendolyn Christie, I'm excited to
From-
see as Phasma.
yeah. I like Adam Driver's past form in things like Francis Ha and Oscar Isaac. I quite like him.
What's
Drive,
he been in?
Drive, Inside Llewyn Davis.
Oh, that's him!
Most Violent Year.
I-
About the hands.
I suspect
Sorry.
he's not going to be in it much. Oscar Isaac. He's not even on the poster, I think. But
Well, you
he's
don't make the poster. Jesus.
Burn. There's everything's on that fucking poster. Do you know how busy that poster is? See,
Yeah.
one thing that I think is the best thing about the prequels is the teaser poster for the Phantom Menace is the best bit of artwork I think that the series has, which is where childhood Anakin is standing in front of some sort of desert Tatooine dome thing.
Mhm.
And the shadow he casts goes up the wall and looks like Vader.
Yeah.
That's all that's on the image. It's very simple
That
and
is
it's
good,
beautifully
yeah.
done,
Tells you
very
enough.
clever. We're back to really busy posters, which I know is the style of everything they do, but I saw it, I was like, God, I don't know where to look.
Most of the Star Wars posters are stick every character.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
a lot of them do it very
All the
well.
spaceships
Very
on
well.
there, yeah.
But the current one I thought looked a
I
little
have a
bit-
particular
bit
fondness
messy.
for the Return of the Jedi poster.
Because of the-
That's the word of young impressionable age.
Oh, the gold bikini.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sure.
No, it's the bounty hunter suit that she's wearing at the start. Yeah, that's a real
Yeah.
turn on.
Okay, so the new actors, they look good. I've not seen that particular episode of Mr. Selfridge, in which what's her name? The actress who
Daisy
plays
Ridley.
Ray, Daisy.
Daisy
Yeah,
Ridley.
that's the only thing she's been in up until now, but she seems quite good, I guess.
I'm a little bit worried because she does actually look pretty much exactly like someone I work with.
Is that just?
So I don't know if I'm just going to see
Yeah.
the person I work with all the way through the film.
Maybe that's her next film.
And then I'll congratulate her when I get in tomorrow.
A great performance.
But she
did
also does
really
look
well.
kind of similar to Keira Knightley as well.
Yeah,
She's got that
very.
sort of look.
Where do you work? And do they have job placements?
I thought you were going to say Windows.
Multi-style. Give me enough Windows space and a pot of super glue and I'm in.
Wow.
I don't know what that sentence meant.
But it was obviously dirty.
Yeah.
So Daisy Ridley's
Least
obviously
sticky.
an unknown. John Boyega's well done. Attack the Block. Anything else?
Yeah, I really enjoyed John Boyega in Attack the Block. That's just a great film.
It was relatively unknown because I mean, Attack the Block wasn't.
Yeah, that's
Massive,
definitely
was it?
not a big hit in America, was it? Yeah.
And
So
Lupita
it's
Nyong'o
nice.
from 12 Years a Slave. Hopefully she'll get something to do.
Yeah. Yeah, it's nice that they've gone with unknowns. It means that no one's bringing their ego to the table.
Well, and it's
But-
like Andy Serkis. He hasn't been in anything at all, has he?
No.
Really?
Who's that? man?
There's shitloads of people in this.
However, they are returning the three main good guys from the original trilogy.
Lots
So you've
of
got
different
Carrie
people play
Fisher,
stories.
Harrison Ford, and Mark Hamill. Now, I think Mark Hamill, he's been very low key in terms of his celebrity and whatnot since the original Star Wars. I think I read a bit of an interview with him, and he said it's always an elephant in the room, Star Wars for me, but I now return to it, and I have great affection for this now, and I'm really, really up for this. And I kind of feel like he would be. But I think Harrison Ford and Carrie Fisher were really annoyed that they were in Star Wars, actually. It just kind of ruined their lives because no one...
Harrison Ford hated it.
Yeah.
It didn't ruin their lives.
Well, it made them a shitload of money and very successful.
Didn't it launch
but-
Harrison's career? Wasn't that like the main issue?
Well,
that
yeah,
Mark
before
Hamill
that,
was
Pretty
been
much,
supposed
but
to-
he had huge
couple
issues
bits.
with
Yeah.
George Lucas, and they were
Yeah.
just
Well,
cut.
everybody's got huge issues with George.
Yeah, yeah,
But
well,
there was
pretty big
just
issues.
Harrison's career
ongoing
never recovered.
ongoing
No.
conflict between the two of them for the whole shoot of the trilogy.
Yeah. Yeah, I should think so. Well, Harrison Ford seems like quite a straightforward sort of guy, and George Lucas seems like he can't direct people. So
Sure, that went together well.
I think the main reason that Harrison Ford's coming back is the paycheck. Does anyone know how much he's been paid for this?
No, how much?
$16.7 million.
Jesus.
And John Boyega and Daisy Ridley got $300,000 each.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're happy to say that because obviously this is a huge
Yeah.
career. This is going to launch their
Yeah.
careers.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to know them. But yeah, 16. He's made 76 times more money
Hey,
than
no,
they
no.
did.
Harrison has got to buy a new plane. So
Oh, he
Yeah,
does.
yeah.
He
So
needs
it's
every
probably
penny
his
of
own
that.
terms and conditions, though, wouldn't it? Probably. I doubt he'd even get out of bed.
Well, I
for
think
it.
Harrison
No.
Ford's also getting like 1% of the gross or something.
Yeah.
So he's got all that as well. So he's going to be sitting pretty.
He's got enough to buy
Yeah.
a pony.
Hopefully he'll bring something to it as well based on that, because his recent outings, like Ender's Game, which is not a good film to start with, but he basically stands there and speaks. It's not acting, he recites words.
Yeah,
Well, come on now.
Doesn't
Old
he?
Man Jones Meets the Communists was an alright film. That's all it was. Getting him out of the care home and just sending him into a jungle with a kid in a leather jacket.
Just tip him out of his
No,
wheelchair
that was
in
all
the
people
plane.
just phoning it in.
I thought Shia LaBeouf was the best thing about that movie. I like
That says a lot if
Rarely
that's the
says
best
about
thing.
anything.
Shia LaBeouf is one of my favourite ever people.
I love shitty
Not, I like to
beef.
say, you say people, not actors, people.
Oh yeah, not for
Yeah.
his acting.
No. He's gone
paper
absolutely
bags.
batshit mental, and he knows it, and I love him for it. I genuinely
fantastic.
do.
I think he always was, and now we're just discovering that he's gone back.
Yeah, I mean, he spent a week in a call centre in Liverpool, just asking people to touch his soul.
Yeah. What is
And
that
this-
all about? Like, how
And,
do
and they
like-
advertised the number. You could just call him up and speak to Shitty Beef. Like, this is
Did you?
magical.
Shitty beef.
Did you try?
That's what he's called.
That's what we call
Oh wow.
That's his
okay.
real name. Yeah.
Okay, I'm behind the times. on this, come on now. I was too busy going that outside.
Okay, so do Harrison Ford and Carrie Fisher give a shit anymore? And are they going to phone this in, or are they going to commit?
No, they're going to phone it in. They're going to look old as balls
Yeah.
as well.
They haven't actually got it on the cast list. Who was actually controlling Carrie Fisher? 'Cause I mean,
Controlling?
I take it she can't move her own limbs anymore. I mean, you've seen her.
Oh, no, that's just me.
He's the puppet master.
I wonder
There's
if
an image of her hand over Luke's shoulder or something like that, and she's got a really long coke nail back in the day. Yeah, it's so really obvious. Yeah.
One thing I'm quite looking forward to about Carrie Fisher is obviously seeing that image of her layer in the gold bikini.
I don't think that's going to happen again.
No, I really hope that doesn't happen again.
Has she now gained like gilf status?
Not really. She's
No.
in Maps to the Stars, the most recent David Cronenberg film. No, she hasn't.
No.
No.
Oh, shame.
Well, her main career was off the screen. She was a script doctor, wasn't she? For years in the 80s and 90s.
Oh, I
she
like
helped
it.
work
I
on
think-
like
I
Home
think she's
Alone
good.
and films like that.
So she's now turned into something of a challenge wank then.
Oh, jeez.
I think maybe we're veering into dangerous territory here.
Although, very briefly, speaking of Home Alone, has anyone seen that new sequel?
I watched it. It's good,
It's
not great.
incredible.
Oh, the Macaulay Culkin. all
Macaulay
grown up.
Culkin
Yeah, the Uber
being
thing.
a sort of, it's like a hired taxi driver thing they do in
Yeah.
America, isn't it? And his girlfriend's meant to be doing it.
Oh,
Someone
Uber,
tries
yeah,
to
yeah.
mug the car, and he basically travels back to his childhood and turns into.
Yeah,
I can't even remember what he was called in Home Alone, but
Kevin
Kevin
Kevin McAllister. Yeah.
Kevin Bacon.
Yeah.
He turns into Kevin Bacon. He goes batshit on this guy in a garage. It's incredible.
Well, can I just take a moment to backpedal on everything Tay said about Carrie Fisher?
Hey, now.
I have respect for women.
Me too.
And I think that's
was a
okay.
compliment. Come on. No.
Okay.
Yeah, Tay's opinions do not necessarily represent the Disney Corporation.
All the opinions of the Mr. Grey film.
No, absolutely not.
It's definitely what Disney were thinking.
Okay, so
Come on, look at Disney's history. Like, I'm late for an important date. The hole that the rabbit jumps into, they clearly had a clitoris.
Don't make us gag you.
It's something I'm going to be interested to see if Disney have had their kind of sexual innuendo in the background theme.
You think they're going to walk through a clitoris?
Well, yeah, pretty much. Or like, there's lots of phallic references in old Disney movies and things like that. It is obscene. So I'm
I don't
wondering if
think
they
there's
brought that
anything
to Star Wars.
phallic about all those shiny helmets and Star Wars. I don't know what you're chatting.
no, what's
True,
wrong
mate,
with
they
a
may have-
lightsaber?
They may have got there first.
Not at all.
Might
Okay.
stop
Okay,
going
so
in the dark
next.
ages.
Well, I feel like maybe we've come to a natural stopping point here, and
We're gonna
What
do
does
a-
Emily
Should
have
we
to
go? Should we go and see
How
it and
excited
come
out
back in a bit?
We doing around the room of how excited out of. You normally do an out of something, Mark. You doing an
Oh, okay, yeah, all right.
anticipation, Mark?
so how excited are we?
Out of
5.
5, boring.
What? That's 7.
What, 17?
Yeah.
1,000.
Doc
No,
only
okay.
works on a scale of 11. Everybody knows this.
No. Right. Okay. Seb, you already pretend you've not seen it. How excited are you for the new Star Wars film?
8. I'm very excited, but I'm tempering myself.
Are we going out?
Yeah, I'm
of
confused
Out of
now.
five?
What are we doing out
I
of?
think
again,
Seb's still
10
going out
to
5 with his 8.
Out of
Okay, 5 out of 7, 8 out of 10, 9 out of 11. If it's whichever scale it is.
Next. 2 out of all of those. Hope is good. We'll see. I'm a bit
Really?
about it. to be
You're a
honest.
2. You're so skeptical of it.
I'm not sceptical of it. I just think it's just a film. If it's better than Jurassic World, that's a win. I know they're completely different things, but it's just a film. Everyone needs to calm their shit down.
I've never heard you say that
It's
before.
so
You
not
are the
just a
most
film.
film nerdy person I've ever met in my life, and you've just said the sentence, "It's just a film."
I'm just bored of it. It's been around for a year.
True, the hype train has come to. I don't know. Well, for me, it's been
I
building
really
up,
want
but
to watch a really good film. I always want to do that, and in this case especially, I want a big adventure, fun time land. Well, I'm also a bit like,
Yeah.
is it over yet?
All right. Well, Salt, care to pick
Yeah.
things up a bit?
Like same thing, really. 3. I
Yeah?
think, like I said before, like I'm not massively on the hype of it, but I'm just hoping that it's filmed really well and it just looks beautiful. I mean, that's the thing that gets me is how big they put the CGI in and all that kind of stuff, but don't fuck it up.
So you're after big CGI action
Yeah,
scenes.
like it's a sci-fi. It's where you can go all out with it all. Well, like that's the big thing. Like with sci-fi, you can do it well. So I'm just hoping that they're not gonna go overboard and just fuck it up and make it stupid. But hopefully,
All right. So that's a 7 from Salt. Christopher.
From the passing comments I've heard, just that alone, out of what are we going out of?
Out
No,
of 10.
out of 9, out of 10.
Yeah, we'll
As-
stick with
just
10.
from that, I'd go with the 7, and I think over the next half an hour, that's probably going to go up to a 9.
Yeah.
Just because we're gonna get there and we're gonna get the tickets and we're gonna sit in the seats and then the screen's gonna get bigger and all the pictures will happen and the noises.
He's going to
knows it.
feel the magic of cinema.
He's
This is
ratcheting
what
it
you're
up
up for now.
My hands will be visible at all times.
Okay.
Bloody hope so. Oh, Jesus.
I cannot make
Don't
sense.
hold your hands in front of the screen. It's rude.
Don't forget to get your Mac on.
This film is
Shut
not
up.
what I expected.
Yeah.
I can't see through these fingers at all.
The 3D is effective.
We're watching it in 2D, aren't we?
Yeah. Today.
I'm really looking forward to it, but then again, I've brought sandwiches. No, honestly, it's it's so hard to judge. I'm really worried it's just going to be a very long toy commercial.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm really worried about that. But then again, I like J.J. Abrams.
Yeah.
And I'm happy to say that enough. I'm thinking he's going to bring a nice flavour to Star Wars. It's going to be less Princess Bride in space. It's going to be a bit more action-packed, more lasery guns and such. And yeah, no, I'm getting there. As young Christopher says, I am slowly but surely getting more and more excited.
I don't want to be near you two.
Alex, how do you feel about
Big
it,
man in the back.
excitement-wise? So it's asking you.
I'm already fucking excited. Yeah, I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of Abrams. I don't have much faith in Disney, but goddamn, that trailer looks good.
Should we go
Right.
watch it?
Let's go watch the new Star Wars film. We're back!
Hey!
We watched Star Wars. It was okay. What did everyone think? Everybody answer at the same time. Go.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah.
Yeah,
You can leave now, Pete.
it was brilliant. It was amazing.
Sometimes I'll say it wasn't.
Fair enough.
All right. So we're back. We just watched it. Oh my god. A bit tingly.
That's what Tay said. He said he was tingly.
Yeah,
Mm.
it made me feel special.
I think that's the circulation though.
Yeah, my arm went to sleep a bit.
We're back. There are new people in the room. There is Miss Sandra Cotty.
Hello.
There is Miss Hilary Domleo.
Hi.
And there is Mrs. Philippa Gray. Hi. Hi. Hi.
I've never heard you called Philippa.
No, no one.
It's Pepe.
It's Pepe, my wife, who will now moan at me about something quite specific.
Yeah, well, I just wanted to say that I really like the film, but I thought that women were very well represented in it. But it is not like this podcast where women are very unrepresented and not invited to be excited about Star Wars, you know.
Right, now that's over and can be cut.
Yeah, I'm going now.
Yeah, she had a fair point.
Back to the Scrabble.
She's actually just
Back
going to
my
leave now.
Scrabble game, yeah. Do what you want to do in your podcast.
So
No,
offended.
But we don't want
so
you.
unwanted. Watching Sandra.
It's like the Littlest Rascals all over again.
Right, well,
Oh,
there we
yeah.
go. Fine.
Well, bye then.
Bye. Jesus.
At least you stayed, Sandra.
Yeah, we've got one.
I'm representing the
Yeah.
women.
Representing. Thanks for staying.
That's
Jesus.
alright.
So, my wife, Pippa, and Hill just left. So,
That's the end of that.
anyway, fucking Star Wars.
Oh my god.
That was exciting, wasn't it? I don't even know where to start.
At the beginning.
Well, at the very beginning.
No, I'm not there.
Yes.
No, you've got to start at the beginning. It
Hang
came
on.
up.
We nearly
Pre-movie
didn't say it.
adventure.
Is this a spoilery thing or no spoilers?
Ah, right, yeah. Okay,
Let's establish that.
normally, spoilers, yes. On this occasion, no.
No spoilers?
No.
No.
Nope.
Oh well, this is going to be
Oh, yeah,
good, isn't
I
it?
don't know.
Well,
Why break with
still
tradition?
start at the beginning.
Yeah.
It came up and it started scrolling.
We had our own
And
mini
my
adventure
cheeks
at the
did not
beginning.
relax for about 5 minutes.
No, I got that
Yeah,
feeling
that's
as
it.
well.
Well, what is it when
Which
we were watching it? I
cheeks?
grabbed Sandra's hand like
Oh,
this.
face
Or
cheeks,
the finger.
sorry.
Yeah.
Face
Can
cheeks.
Yeah,
can
not your
can
bum
I
cheeks.
Oh, yes,
just
establish
say, is that before we lost the tickets or after?
Yeah, that's
Oh,
yes.
Ah, should we mention this?
Yeah, I think we should.
Why? I
Star
don't,
Wars nearly didn't
So,
happen.
yeah,
We
so-
had trouble getting in.
why? I came to the cinema with tickets. I don't know
Eventually.
No, you left the flat with tickets.
what. Yes, and then
You got to the cinema.
And then there were no
How
tickets.
sans tickets, I believe.
well, the tickets might have been in my back pocket, and then they might have found their way out of my back pocket.
Under the wheel of
What you done,
several
Yeah.
cars.
You Jar Jar Binks did.
I did, yeah, I did fuck up that bit of it quite significantly.
But we got in before the film started.
Yeah,
That's the
we
main
were
thing.
in. It was fine. I mean, the fact that I left the tickets on the road outside my house, and then they got run over a lot, and then I had to run back to the house, pick up the ticket, stop a car in the middle of the road, because heavens forbid they'd be run over one more time. Pick up the tattered remains of the envelope filled with tickets, and then come back. Only to have nobody check our tickets at the door, because it was too late by then and nobody cared.
Well, minor details.
Yes.
Let's move on.
Moving on, the film started, and it was very exciting. It was
glorious.
Yes, the moment it started, I didn't realise how excited I was
No.
until it went, "Duh!" And yeah. Oh.
See, the thing is, we were talking in the podcast before about, you know, whether J.J. Abrams would fuck it up, whether it would be like a Star Wars film, whether they'd be phoning it in.
Yeah,
In my opinion, it does feel like a Star Wars film.
absolutely,
Very much so,
yeah.
Very much
Every
better
way.
than the prequels.
Oh yeah, we
Oh,
can fuck them right
no,
off.
No,
They don't
they're
exist anymore.
not involved. They died
4,
a
5,
long
and 6 are
time
new.
ago.
The new 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, they were
So now
fantastic.
7 is 4.
Okay, so.
What are we rating this
can
out
we,
of?
can we actually do this spoiler free, or should
No,
we just?
I think we need
Why-
to
why break
do
the
a
tradition?
spoiler free and then do a warning and fill it with spoilers.
Okay, well, let's talk about the first half of it then, in not too much detail, I suppose. The intro was great, really brilliant. What was it? A Star Destroyer passing over
Spoiler.
the planet. Literally, something happens in the film. Yeah,
Also,
But-
spoiler.
Let's just stay quiet
yeah.
until we go
Spoiler
spoiler
free,
alert.
yeah. All right, well, minor spoiler alerts for now. Probably won't be ruining it. Actually, you
we
should...
always end up just going through the entire plot.
Oh, you know what? All
No,
right. fuck it.
no.
What we do.
Minor spoilers.
Okay.
As in not actually giving anything away, but things people might be annoyed about a little bit
Okay,
because they haven't seen it
let
yet.
me
Like the fact that the first time you see Rey and she removed those goggles, I thought she looked pretty much exactly like Anakin.
She kind of
Oh,
looked like
really?
she had a moustache.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, well, he's obviously. I immediately want to launch into it.
but like,
Terrible
I
things
don't
to say about
want
Right.
to say too much.
No.
The first thing that got me was the script. Right at the beginning, I thought it was shocking.
Yes.
I thought
Absolutely,
the script
yeah.
put it right down.
Really.
Film
handy.
is shot beautifully. Like the CGI in it, all of that stuff, lush, beautiful. It's Star Wars. It's got a Star Wars film.
And the lack
script,
of CGI as well.
The script. Oh my god! Like
Yeah.
that's just left me feeling quite numb because it was just stupid little one-liners, and they were trying to be jokey
Yeah, no,
where
totally.
it didn't need to be jokey, and it just pissed me off. Like,
Yeah.
I just don't know.
No,
What
it
line
really
was the
hammy
humour?
dialogue. Yeah, I'd say most of the jokes kind of landed, but they were.
They were misplaced.
Yeah.
they didn't feel like they should have been there. They
No,
didn't
but-
quite fit with what was happening even though it was right at the beginning, it happened, and I was like, is this gonna keep going?
Yeah, but it's
Yeah.
kind of like the thing is like they put those jokes in, and then it's suddenly like almost taking you out of being in Star Wars. If that makes
Being
sense.
in the
It's
moment.
like a reminder of suddenly going, oh yeah, I'm in the cinema watching a film. It's like it's all about being drawn into the drama and being in the action and making you feel like you're there, and then it's suddenly like, oh wait, no, you're not, because I'm gonna stick a joke in, and you're like, oh shit, that's just messed that up for me.
Well,
But yeah,
I mean,
that's
I
my
wasn't
rant.
so offended by it. It didn't work a lot of the way. The script was pretty hammy, I'll agree. But I was enjoying myself the whole time, and it didn't detract from it so much that I felt like, God, this is shit.
There's a lot
did
of
for me.
goofy comedy in the first 3 films.
I was
It's
gonna say,
there.
Han
It kind of works
Solo
more
is a
for it.
goofy
But
kind of character.
That's so
Yeah, but the back and forth
goofy
between.
character.
I think he is in the original ones a
Is
bit
he?
when he first comes in.
I don't
There's a
know.
little
It seems
one line,
wisecracking, but I wouldn't say
Yeah.
he's goofy.
I mean, the one bit that I really
pretty
like,
cool.
just a little bit of a spoiler, but not much of a spoiler, is the chicken bird thing. That just looked beautiful. It just looked so.
Yeah.
Like, that was probably the graphically worst point
Yeah.
of the whole film.
I did find
Was
that to
just-
be
What
the
dumbass
most-
bird pecks at metal? That's what I want.
Yeah, it just reminded me of one of those little water
Yeah.
things that
well,
just
how the
pops
hell has it
up
survived on a
and
desert planet?
Yeah, in
I
such a
can eat these
mechanical
rivets.
Well, you
way,
say what
the head bobbing.
pecks at
Yeah.
metal. Earlier today, I was holding a bottle of champagne and a swan trying to eat it.
Glass,
You
see?
decadent life.
Glass.
But
What a
still.
life you lead, Pete.
Oh, no.
Jesus, how do you get into that situation?
Oh, that's a longer story that we need to get into right now. That swan was on it though.
But yeah, that's my rant done. I
Yeah.
think. Yeah.
Can
So
say
it's-
something
as you-
negative about it and then what?
As you
Come
may
on.
be able to tell,
Something
we've
good.
got a skeptic in the room.
I haven't said much.
No.
Apparently, there's Skeptic's Corner over there.
But yeah,
Oh, dunno. Come on, what did you think?
Yeah, it was nice.
It was nice, great.
I liked it, made me feel
We were talking about Leia the Gilf earlier. God, you couldn't shut up. Sam.
full of positivity. No.
Yeah. All right. So, how about the actual, like, the story as a whole, the pacing of it?
Pacing was great. It didn't feel like 2 hours and 10 or
No.
2 hours 15. I thought it belted by quite nicely. Had that little sort of build up to really kick in, but that was to be expected, really. At that
Well,
point,
it was having to do a lot of work, you know, trying to establish like some of what's happened in the last 30 years, and tell a current story.
This is the case with almost all franchises or sequels and things. You need to have a little bit of audience catch up before you start sort of like serving
Well,
out your new dish.
That's
which
something I
is-
found a little bit of a problem, is
an
that
old
it
one.
didn't quite seem like a catch up and then the story. It was, we're going to catch up as we tell the story at the same time.
But
No, I
that can
thought a
work
lot of it.
quite
And
nicely.
yeah.
I thought that was a great way to do it. Actually,
Mm.
definitely it answered a few like, oh, I wonder what happened with the revolution. What happened to Luke? Why did he disappear? And all of that is explained, but it's not all just thrown at you at the beginning and then okay, now let's get on with it. It's the fact that it is explained slowly throughout the story is a much better way to do it. I thought. Yeah, I really like it.
I think if they explained all that at the beginning, you kind of left thinking what else is going to happen
Yeah.
in the film.
What do I care about at this point?
Exactly, because with the whole spoilers in the original trilogy, that doesn't come in until towards the end of the second film. It's all that build up, so that's kind of what this film was doing as well.
Yeah.
Oh, it's definitely setting more events in motion. It's not. It kind of works as a closed circuit, but you know there's going to be more movies.
Well,
There was a point where I was worried that that wasn't going to be the case.
Well, it was going to be sort of like a Mockingjay style. That's it for now. Come back next year.
Pretty much. And they all lived happily ever after, and then they'll start the next film. Oh, wait a minute! But no, they didn't do that, thankfully.
okay.
And what I have to say about the plot, I can't because it's too much of a spoiler.
We'll save that.
All right.
Save that then.
Okay. So what about the actors, actresses? How do you
Well, I
feel
was
about
really
it?
worried that the old school guys were just going to phone it in.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what you
really,
said
really-
in earlier, and I really wanted to say, oh, he doesn't.
Yeah, no, it was superb job.
Most animated I've seen Harrison Ford in a while.
He was
Yeah.
moving, he was running, he looked
Yes,
silly.
he was moving.
He looked silly in a coat, then he took the coat off, and I was worried for him. It's chilly out there.
Yeah, I did like the bit.
There's so many of our old smugglers that way.
Yeah.
The interaction between Han Solo and Chewbacca is really good in this one.
Yeah.
That's it. It's the same relationship from
Straight
30
back
years
in,
ago,
isn't it?
That's
Yeah.
it. He's not phoning it. It's still Han Solo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what you're going to say.
No,
Tom.
I was gonna say like, just reminded me of like Mass Effects, like the game, like
Yeah.
it's just the whole layout of it was just complete like Mass Effect. If you're into that kind of style,
The layout of what?
Like just the whole kind of, I don't know. Like I suppose you could say like Mass Effects is probably based on Star Wars in a way.
Well, it was
Maybe.
heavily
But,
influenced
like,
by it and
sure.
lots of other things.
Yeah. Well, everything's sci-fi over the last 30 years has been.
But, like-
Well, again,
ignore
we'll think
Star
of how
Wars,
influential Star Wars was
Yeah.
in 1977. There wasn't really any sci-fi like that.
No.
But I don't know if it was me, but I kind of felt like the characters' like relationships were pushed too quickly. Like there wasn't much of a lead up. Like the two main characters, it was kind
Yeah,
of
they were instantly
Well,
bonded.
you
weren't
yeah.
they?
It
you
was
can
like they
understand that
meet,
with-
and then it was just like bang! Oh, we've kind of got this connection. It was like
What the idea with Finn?
like you but you want the kind of a film like that. I think you want the
It's feel earned a bit
kind
more.
of but you want to gain that emotional attachment
connection
to
as it goes.
draw you in, whereas
Yeah.
it's just like I don't know. For me, again, being a little bit low, I just felt like there wasn't that much of an emotional journey throughout the whole film. Like, if anything.
Well,
See, I disagree. For Ray, there
Really?
very much is. I would say there is an emotional journey. You know, she's
yeah.
you know from where she goes, where she starts, and where she ends.
Yeah.
Is you know, and all the discoveries. For me, that was a satisfying emotional journey. Finn, maybe not so much. I mean, it's definitely nice seeing, you know, he's a stormtrooper and seeing his journey as well, seeing it from that other side.
Yeah, it's a good progression from what the amount that you get. I agree. I think
Well,
Ray gets a bit more.
Speaking about Ray's sort of change throughout the film, how did she start out by saying her own name wrong?
What?
Yeah?
What's your name? Rai.
Right.
Rye.
My name is.
I was like, oh, it's pronounced Rye. And then not once again in the film.
Oh.
Not even by her.
Well,
Maybe
that's
she
her
just felt
terrible
rude
acting.
correcting. Said it
She-
once, you got it wrong. Fine.
It's just a
Yeah,
bit
we
dehydrated.
can't reshoot, unfortunately, for various reasons.
It's quite
Just say
expensive.
your name right from now on. Yeah, she was, as an actress, started off quite grating and very stiff, I thought.
Mm.
But then
Keira Knightley came to mind.
Yeah, she loosened up though, and it got better.
Yeah,
for her.
it's a great, strong character, absolutely. But there's something oddly pissy about the way she does it.
yeah, she's very stiff, and I don't know that she's very English.
Mm.
That's sort of grated for some reason. I don't know, but yeah, she got better. It's not great dialogue to work with, and you're constantly running around, so you're not given the moment to dig deep and get emotional, are you?
No, it felt as though she'd been given the acting note. You feel mildly inconvenienced
Yeah.
all of the time. I liked her, but there was this element of just lighten up.
You wanted to say something, Sandra?
As the only woman in the room, I actually felt that she was a really good, strong female character.
But that's the
Yeah,
one
she
thing.
is,
Is it
definitely.
is really nice to have like a female as the kind of main.
And the
She's
story
Avenger,
does
do you
feel
know
like
what I
it's
mean?
going to evolve around her.
Oh yeah,
It's
she's
developed.
going to be
yeah.
the big hero of it. She's the new Luke, and her story in this one mirrors Luke's story in A New Hope, and yeah, she's the new big character.
Similar
And
traits.
it is nice to see that.
Big enough to fix everything and things like that.
And also, as well, I suppose it's nice that she's not like this woman that's just got massive boobs and kind of hot and sweaty, and it's sort of slow motion kind
And
of.
she
Yeah.
wasn't in
Oh, yeah,
provocative
yeah.
costumes either.
Like,
they were
yeah,
very
exactly.
plain, basic.
Yeah, they didn't try and make her sexy, which is good. Yeah, and she's stronger than Finn, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which,
by
and
miles.
I thought maybe it was a bit hammered home how she doesn't need Finn, how he keeps trying to grab her hand at the beginning and pull her out of the situation, and she doesn't need it. Like, you can't just dip your head around the corner like that.
Yay!
Thank you. That was a
Yeah, Jesus.
5 again.
Right. Right, what's move on to? I don't know. What's
Well,
coming
the
up
thing
next?
is, we've talked something about it. It's going to get spoilery quite quickly. So if we run through
Yeah.
these notes,
Before we get on to how awesome is BB-8.
Awful.
Really?
No, I love him.
love
Really?
him.
Yeah.
Not Jar Jar irritating, but
No, definitely not Jar Jar.
No.
Irritating.
I've never been a fan of the droids.
I
throughout.
love
They're so much
the
like
droids.
R2D2.
Yeah, I
From the
hated
first movie,
R2D2.
so-
Yeah. It's exactly the same. Yeah. Well, I never liked R2 or any of the droids.
I was-
even C-3PO.
This is a
I was-
small
I
spoiler.
always
Yeah, it's
enjoyed
annoying.
the relationship between C-3PO and R2, but I never liked C-3PO.
No.
But I
Nobody
liked
likes
the
C-3PO.
relationship between R2D2 and Luke, so I think the relationship that BB-8 gets with Rey, I think is really nice to see.
Yeah. Even their talking at the beginning, their whole conversation and dialogue, and the fact that she treats it like a human being rather than a piece of
Puppy.
machinery.
Treats it like a puppy.
But she hasn't. That's her. The whole idea is that that's the first thing that she's come into contact with. Who, like, she's been alone for all this time, and she's got a friend.
That's
and
true, actually.
But also
Yeah.
when you're
from
in
a
a
female
place,
point of
yeah.
view.
But when you're in a
I think
place,
Well,
Nice
only
to
well,
see that
females
fun.
like friends.
Yeah.
You're really trying to hammer this home, aren't
I
you, Sandra?
suppose you would start treating them like humans, though. If you're in a place where they're just becoming like everyday
Yeah.
objects.
I
But
mean,
it's-
C-3PO
like,
is
they've
built
got-
to look like a human. So
He's still a prick.
well, he's like the worst kind of repressed homosexual, just taking out on everyone else. He is. But then you don't just have Rey's relationship with BB-8. Look at Poe's relationship with BB-8.
Yeah.
Right from the
yeah,
start.
they're
These-
very
They're very
Yeah.
close.
It's
Yeah.
quite cute. Friends, they're buddy, yeah.
relationship those two actually. Yeah.
You know, and the way you sees them again.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just something about droids. I loved all the aliens. All the aliens were great. I particularly liked that none of them were CGI at all.
See, I thought
No,
it was
there were a
wacky.
lot of
Like, the,
yeah.
Well, the
Like the
The
one
little
at
orange
start
lady.
selling like I'll give you some tokens for the droid guy. Who's
That's
really
more of a quarter
quite crappy.
really, I thought that was pretty physical effects. I certainly didn't see that and go, "Oh, that's bloody CGI." That's
Well,
really
Maz was CGI.
Yes. So
That
there's a
was coming
character
up,
about
yeah.
halfway through.
Yeah.
She's small and ginger and not ginger, orange.
Orange and yellowy.
Yellowy, I don't know.
That
Jaundiced.
was
Weird
Peter,
jaundiced frog
Younger
lizard
from
thing.
2 Weeks a Slave.
She's, again, just made the character believable.
Yeah, no, good. Little
The yellow
ET-ish,
guy from
but-
Sin City's mum, isn't it? Like, yeah.
Oh, is it?
I don't know. Just like that, you know, the whole yellowness thing.
That's hard in this room.
Okay. Well, I don't know how to carry on without. Oh, we can talk about
Music
the
delivery.
I did like the music a lot.
Yeah,
the
music.
score was
yeah,
good.
Oh, it's John Williams again.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
in keeping, but
Yeah.
the like the news sort of stuff that was in there was very nice and
It was
spirited.
also nice and subtle as well. It wasn't really like in your face. And
Yeah, a lot of stuff in the desert. I
Yeah,
quite
yeah.
liked. Quite a lot. I was like, oh, this is nice.
Yeah, it doesn't change what he's been doing over the last
Yeah,
6
it's not
films,
like a
but he.
kazoo solo coming
No,
in.
no. But
Now the Tom Tom march.
Yeah, unless again, like when he uncovers Darth Vader's face, and just the Star Wars theme tune.
Yeah,
just
it's in the trailer.
Yeah, he brings in the
comes
Imperial March
it's
again.
just-
Those little
yeah,
notes
and
of.
it's-
Yeah.
But it's just kind of nice and subtle again, so it wasn't too kind of like, oh my god. It wasn't
And there was
very-
Leia's theme in there as well,
Yeah,
when a big plot twist happens
yeah.
that I'm not going to mention.
even mentioning that there is
Well,
a plot.
well covered
twist,
up.
Yeah.
It is a plot. It's a spoiler.
Oh, everyone knows there's going to be some sort of.
That's going to be, isn't it? Okay,
Yeah.
so before we move on to spoilers territory, J.J. Abrams as a director, has he fucked this up? Is he on point? Has he landed this?
Much like Star Trek, he knocked it out the park.
Knocked
I
it
think
out
it's-
the park.
Yeah.
It's-
really good
it's
homage to the original.
Definitely Abrams, but
Beautiful.
it's definitely Star Wars.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Some of the scenery was
probably
just
his
straight
best
out the old
film.
films. It was great.
Yeah,
I'd
there's
say
that
it's
beautiful
definitely his
image with the
best
sun
film.
and the TIE fighters.
Maybe Mission Impossible 3.
Remind me of
still.
Apocalypse
I don't
now.
know.
Yeah. No, nice.
I thought it was great.
I thought it was. If you hadn't told me it was J.J. Abrams, I might not have even guessed, really. Apart from it being
Really good at
blistering pace.
Yeah.
Yeah. Apart from that, it's. But then he hasn't really got much else, has he? What else does he do?
That guy.
lazy, ridiculous cutting, nonsensical plotting.
True, no one got lost on an island in time.
But yeah, he did a good job, I think.
Yeah, oh,
Yeah,
I'd
he's
give
brought
him
it
that.
back.
Yeah, it felt
It's a-
legit.
Difficult task to do.
Thanks, JJ.
Thanks, JJ.
Thanks, JJ.
Yeah.
Raise a
We
glass
said
to
Do you
you.
think so? He's done a good job with this one. Is it good that he's not doing the next one?
Yes. I want to see somebody else do it. Although I
'Cause
don't know
it's-
who's doing the next one.
Ryan Johnson doing the next one, isn't it?
And
What's he
it
ever
should go
done?
darker from here, so I think that's a good choice.
Yeah.
No, well, the
Who's
way the
Ryan
film was
Johnson?
left.
Looper, several episodes of Breaking Bad,
I'm in.
Brick.
Oh, I like Brick a lot.
Yeah,
Brick's
yeah,
alright.
yeah.
If there was a director who could have remade instead of JJ, who would you have liked to have seen do it?
Uwe Boll.
Park Chan-wook.
Ron Howard.
Your obsession with Ron
Actually,
Howard.
no, I love Park Chan-wook.
No.
It would have been too. Much as I love him, that would not have
Wouldn't
been
have
a
fit.
Star Wars film.
Maybe James Gunn after
After
Guardians
Guardians,
of the Galaxy.
Yeah, yeah,
That
no,
would
he
have
could have.
Which is kind of the film this had to be for me.
Alfonso?
is
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
like recent
not
sci-fi
that
adventure
long.
fun.
He
Yeah.
turned the Harry Potter
Yeah.
franchise around.
Who was this now?
Alfonso Cuarón.
Alfonso Cuarón.
Oh yeah, Gravity and whatnot.
Right, well, shall we start moving on to spoilers?
Dun,
Action.
dun,
Dun, dun, dun.
Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert!
Spoilers than before.
If you haven't switched it off already, because you don't want spoilers, switch it off now and then come back.
Yes. Okay.
But come back.
But yeah, please.
So,
Oh my god, Han Solo! Oh my god, Han Solo! Oh my god, Han Solo! Oh!
Who saw it coming?
Totally, the bridge and everything. Yeah. had to
oh
be
yeah,
done.
yeah, you saw the death of Han Solo.
When will these
coming.
people learn to build fucking
Handrails.
Jesus Christ! Look at it.
With all the power of the Death Star, can we not have a handrail?
You would have thought they would definitely have learned by now, though, wouldn't you?
Handrails.
Yeah.
He still wouldn't have saved him.
If you're gonna
No.
have
He
a
would have wobbled
planet-sized
right over that.
destructo thing, put a fucking fail-safe in so you don't have to just hit it once.
But
It's like
safety,
James Bond's, like Christopher Walken's base inspector.
Yeah.
Wait, you have to
Float
be
this
able to
little
hit
bit
it
and
more
everything,
than
guys.
once to get it off.
To be fair, they kind of did. They had a go at the top of it, and then they couldn't do that, so they had to put bombs all around all of the pillars, and that still didn't do it. And then he had to actually fly in there and actually blow up the internals.
They've
It was a
learned
bit
from
more
the
than
Death Star.
let's hit once.
Yeah, you've got to have the whole spaceship flying through.
It's
and,
still
like, the
weak.
He
spaceship
didn't
shooting
turn
up
off his guiding
spaceships
system.
because that's Star Wars, isn't it? That's what they do.
Yeah,
Fly around and
I
shoot
mean,
stuff. Like
but a whole planet-sized space station
But that's JJ.
weapon industrial complex was taken down far too easily, as they always are. The Death Stars always blow up by just blowing on them.
But it was, on the other hand, though, it was an inside job, essentially.
Yeah, it was a bit more of that than normal.
Yeah.
And so there was a bit more inside knowledge of it anyway.
Yeah,
And then they had to go to quite extreme lengths to actually do it. I don't think it was
Yeah.
too
What,
easy.
like,
I
walk
think it was
inside
more
and
believable
ask the
than
first
New Hope
person they met to turn the
blowing
shield
up.
off.
Turning off the guidance system, just throwing it.
It
down.
was a specific person, though. You know, shiny.
Yeah. The shiny person. Yeah.
What was with that?
What?
The shiny one.
Captain Phasma.
Yeah,
Captain
Captain
Phasma.
Phasma.
Did anyone feel like she gave him way too easily? Like she's a kick-ass stormtrooper person, and it's like, oh, you're pointing a gun at me. Okay, I'll do everything.
What's she supposedly kick-ass? What does she actually do?
Shouts
Turns
at
the shield
people.
off like nobody's business.
shouts at him for taking
Did
his helmet
manage-
off, innit? And then
Did
that's
manage
it.
to convey a sense of worry in a helmet. Which I liked.
Yeah.
Have you got
Could
a
you
garbage
see that in
compactor?
her face?
Yeah.
Like,
The
Oh,
voice is
cool.
very distinct, though, isn't it? It's like, oh, hello, Brienne.
Yeah, definitely Brienne of Tarth.
Oh, you survived and changed planets.
Don't do Game of Thrones spoilers. Just saying.
Alright. Yeah. Well, we
Okay.
Well,
We did say spoiler alert.
This came before Game of Thrones. It's a long time.
We've
ago.
also spoiled
In a galaxy
Spectre,
far,
by the way.
far away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of my big niggles with it is that it's a New Hope. It's the same
Oh,
movie.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Oh
the
well,
same
well,
fucking
Pete,
movie.
I mean, come on. They
They had to
rhyme.
rhyme.
It's
They had to
like
rhyme.
poetry. Yeah, it's I'm not sure it needed to be
That
exactly
similar.
like New Hope.
I mean, obviously, J.J. Abrams has sort of like taken things and said, that's what worked with the original Star Wars. So he's done it by
Which is
doing
good.
a lot of practical effects, using blue screen instead of green
But the
screen.
whole-
Doing it on 35mm and
Yes.
in 2:3:5 aspect ratio. Doing it the same as the original Star Wars was done,
Yeah.
but maybe lifting the plot
Wholesale.
pretty much wholesale.
but making everything bigger and more
Yeah,
bombastic,
well,
which
yeah.
is JJ.
Basically,
That's what he
making a
does.
New Hope for 2015.
Yeah,
Death
it
Star.
works.
And
It
it
works.
works.
Yeah.
Is it better than New Hope?
Better paced.
So you're playing with fire there, aren't
Yeah.
you?
What are we
So next
talking
question. I'm disappointed that they didn't even try to disguise the fact that Mark Hamill was going to be in it. I wanted that for them to
Yeah.
at least
Actually,
try for that to be a twist.
For me, it could have ended when the Millennium takes off and goes into.
Yeah. Like
Hyper-
kind of a
hyperdrive.
hyperdrive
Yeah.
ending.
That for me, that was nice fade to black, done.
To
I
be
didn't
fair-
need the whole getting to the planet and meeting Luke.
Talking about the casting thing, I think they did try to hide it for a while because people kept speculating about whether Mark Hamill was going to be in it
Oh,
or
really?
not, and then eventually he kind of came out. Everyone knew that Harrison Ford and Carrie Fisher were going to be in it ages
Yeah.
ago. Mark Hamill, I think, only came out recently.
In
He
fairness,
came out.
I found out he was in
That's
it
the big
when I
plot
sat
twist.
down to do this and saw him written on this bit of paper.
Oh, really?
I didn't know he was in it.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So I,
Did
as somebody who has purposely not been following it.
But I
or
mean,
watching
how
stuff,
much is he in it?
Thanks for putting a car sheet in
yeah.
front of it.
It doesn't even get a talkie line.
No.
There's too much
Yeah,
staring.
second
at
build.
the
Yeah, but
Second
oh,
build.
God.
Then. Harrison Ford. Then Mark Hamill. You did well out of that. Mark Hamill
Really, I
is
thought he was
Gandalf.
gonna do. I thought he was gonna like raise his hand and like use the force to get his lightsaber
Yeah,
back. but
snatch
then
it back off.
I was
Well, see,
like,
that's a good question. Where the fuck did they get the lightsaber? Now, if you remember, so obviously she's got his lightsaber underneath her little bar.
Mhm.
When did we see that last lightsaber last? Is it Empire Strikes Back? No, it was Empire Strikes
Oh,
Back
no,
when
no.
Vader cuts off his hand and it goes flying down Bespin, and then they do all that, and he goes down. If you remember in the originals when Luke's falling, he's like ah, and it's really funny. Seriously, check it out.
Yeah,
but
it's
then he
really
goes
pretty
flying, and
funny.
it flies out on Bespin, which is a cloud planet.
It lands in a treasure
does,
chest.
She does say it's a long story. I'll tell you something.
No, it's a good story,
Oh, that's okay.
and I'll tell you another time.
Something like that.
In West
But-
Philadelphia.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's what I really. if they don't address that, I'll be annoyed.
It
It's a
landed in
little
treasure
thing, but
chest
yeah.
at the end.
Where the hell did it come from?
I don't need to revisit 3-foot tall yellow skinned character. Whatever she was called.
Maz. It's
I worked with a mouse.
Definitely died. Definitely died in the explosions.
Oh yeah, true. Oh yeah, that character's dead. You'll never know.
shit. Thanks.
Unless they decide to go back in the next trilogy and do half episodes.
Don't forget that J.J. Abrams was involved in Lost. Don't need to tie everything up. Don't wait for that.
Yeah, but you know, he knows he's dealing with Star Wars fans.
I did find
Yeah,
it
they'll make up their own
annoying
solutions.
that Ray seems to have force abilities really quickly.
Yeah,
Yeah, she
they-
mastered that shit
Really
pretty
well.
And
What?
straight in with mind tricks as well. That's a big one.
Yeah.
You know, you work your way up from lightsaber, little blast mask over your face.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
poor Luke had to go to a
Pushy.
swamp and get fired at loads.
Do some
She could have told
telekinesis.
the stormtrooper to turn the shield off.
yeah. That would have been helpful.
She,
Well, see,
didn't, she didn't know the plan. Actually, something that
But
did
she
annoy me a
checked
bit
the
is
Force, so she
Kylo Ren, when Han and Chewie land, and he just turns around and goes, Han Solo. He hasn't got the Force. There's not going to be a disturbance for you to even register here. Because he doesn't... I mean,
Isn't that-
obviously it's there.
Isn't
Yeah,
it
but-
playing on more the family connection?
Yeah.
Okay.
Feel his daddy around.
I know whenever a tailor walks into the
Whoa!
Wow. Is that why he left?
Yeah, we need to talk about
Is that why he
Kylo.
Gone
turned
to the dark side.
I'll stick you with my saber this time.
I like him as a character. I think he's an interesting bad guy.
Kylo Ren. Kylo
Yeah.
Ren was great.
Yes,
Loved him.
fantastic.
Absolutely brilliant. Really menacing. He felt very dangerous as well. I like that his lightsaber is a bit different now, and it can sort of
Impractically
Completely
But like-
different
Bit more like-
effect on it.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's a bit more
Smooth.
fiery, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like
Like,
you
yeah.
can almost feel the anger
Yeah.
channeling
Yeah.
from him.
Yeah,
into the
absolutely.
lightsaber.
But what's the point of having that stupid helmet though? If you're gonna keep taking it off.
He just likes.
I mean, at
wearing
least
the
Darth Vader had an excuse
Well, I-
to wear this
No, I
helmet.
think this is actually looking at the actual helmet itself. I think it is his own little callback to Vader.
Well,
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
got,
yeah.
it's got
That's
the
the
same
idea,
lip
really.
on the
Yeah,
bottom.
He
should be.
idolises Vader.
Yeah,
in
he's,
that
trying to,
way.
he's trying to convince himself
Stop
almost
taking
that
it
he
off.
is a badass,
Keep it
that he
on.
is a
Like-
dark
Yeah,
side
but Vader had
character.
to keep his on because he was
Yeah.
all
Well, of course.
mangled.
That and did you see his face?
I was a bit
Exactly.
disappointed when he
Keep
took
it
it
on.
off.
Keep the helmet on.
Exactly. Like,
Did he-
It was like, oh,
That's a Tinder profile you're going to swipe. Which way? To
Left.
Left.
Oh no, I
Poor
could. I
Adam
could.
Driver.
Well, I don't know
No,
how
no,
to
no,
take this now because
Darth
Pip
Vader.
was saying that she thinks this Adam Driver guy is really fit.
Well, yeah, but she obviously likes men with massive noses.
She
Yeah,
married
I
you.
don't know, how do I take that? What do I do now?
And I'm gonna come right in with your
I must
defence.
admit-
You could have convinced me that that was Harrison Ford's son. I was.
Yeah,
There's
he looks
enough
like
Harrison.
of a resemblance there for me to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure, that's what happened. Yeah.
I've seen
Well, other than
Adam
the
Driver
ears.
in a few things. He's been good. I've never noticed how big his ears are.
Yeah,
before.
that was epic.
There's some Frankie
Yeah.
shit going on there.
But that he's a good bad guy. Sorry, you're going to say something.
Well, it's just
Hey.
what you were saying about his lightsaber and how it, because it was kind of a bit jagged edgy, the anger of it. That lightsaber battle,
That's good.
that was the best
That was great.
lightsaber battle for
For a long time.
yeah, for a very long time.
Yeah.
Gone are the days of dancey, you McGregor, look at me.
No,
It's
this was.
Oh
I'm
yes.
dancing. It's
Tough.
back to the
Yeah,
it's
and
the
choreo-
anger
that,
of it.
Yeah.
that and then
It's
Darth
choreographed
Maul
well.
with his
Yeah.
double-ended swivel
It's like-
stick.
it's like
just
when Luke-
swinging his staff around.
When Luke cuts off Darth Vader's arm, he's not being all polished. It's not like some fencing school. It's just anger and emotion, and it moves the story on.
Yeah.
It's not a sword fight because that's what people come to
it
cinema
is
to see and watch two kids dance around with glow sticks. No, it's emotion.
Yeah.
It's driving the story on.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that,
we
was,
understand
that
the
was
anger.
middle-aged combat.
Yeah,
Yeah, it felt very
Medieval combat, not middle-aged. That was,
Well, it was the Middle Ages.
I'm 40
yeah,
years old.
that's
But,
what I was
um,
It's almost
with
like
Kylo
he was
Ren-
like some sort of knight.
Yeah, with his
Yeah.
saber with the 2 pointy bits, it does make you think of a sword. 'cause it's
Yeah,
But yeah,
absolutely,
but there's
yeah.
a lot
It
of
was
talk
just-
about this as well, isn't it? Because
What are they used for?
when they found out that it
Yeah.
was gonna be, he was gonna have these little lasery
Hills.
handle on it,
Hang
like it
No, pommel. It's
caused
called a pommel.
chaos,
Pommel's the
didn't
end.
it? Everybody
Pommel's the
was
end.
like, oh,
Yeah, they didn't like
but
it.
man, like,
no,
it's
no,
alright.
totally
But
right.
it worked out well
It's no
when he
different
jabbed
to a
it into
longsword.
Finn's shoulder.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's like, actually, you know what?
It became useful.
Yeah. I'm not going to laugh at Kylo Ren
I
anymore.
mean, you got handguard. I mean, that's pretty sensible.
Yeah,
really.
I'm
And-
surprised the others don't have it,
Exactly.
frankly, yeah.
Like,
Well, yeah, but it didn't really act as a handguard. If his hand slipped,
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's
Yeah, he's
knowing
probably
that
always
it's
got-
there. Though. It's there, you know.
That's the key.
He's not going to use it for trimming his
Coffee
fingernails.
podcast.
No.
One thing you said when we saw it the first time was how easy the stormtroopers die. Their armour is not.
Oh,
very
yeah.
good at all.
Stormtrooper armour hasn't advanced in the last 30 years.
oh no, it's still plastic.
Or
No,
aiming.
yeah, nor is that aiming.
No,
They-
oh, no.
There's still a cack.
Oh no, you say their aiming hasn't improved. Finn's got pretty good aim. Surprisingly, I think it's the armour that slows them down.
Yeah, they hit
Then
people when they stopped and slowed down and then aimed. Like Poe at the beginning. He comes out, gets his gun out, he aims down it, and he takes out 3 instantly.
Yeah.
These guys have been firing rounds after rounds after rounds. Nothing. Hit nothing.
But the thing is, that's like every film, though. Every
Yeah.
film, it's always the bad
Yeah, the
guys
bad
which
guys
are
can never
shit
hit
at
anything.
shooting. Like,
It's Hollywood rules, isn't it?
We ain't got time for training. We're illegal.
But then all the good guys can. I mean, even Rage. Oh, I've never really fired a gun before. Oh, I'll take the safety off. Bang, oh, yeah.
Yeah, so for a start, she knew where the safety was.
Mm.
No one explained that to her.
And there was even
probably in between you bits.
I mean, it said it all, wouldn't it? When he gave her the gun, I went, "How do you use it?" And she just went, "Well, you pull the trigger." I mean,
You've got a lot to learn.
yeah.
Clearly, where the safety
But she's
Yeah.
Not much to learn.
That's all I had to learn.
Just that one thing.
Figured
Yeah.
that out pretty quick.
But maybe that's something we learn about her past in future films because she seemed pretty nifty with that.
Oh yeah, she was very
Laughing.
capable when we met her.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, you could understand the childhood of being brought up on your own in that sort of environment. You're gonna have some skills.
But then we got questions. Why was she left there? You know,
Look,
why is she so
Who
good
are
with
her
force
parents?
powers?
Yeah,
Could she, you know, the
absolutely.
story has always been about the Skywalkers.
She was a fucking nightmare.
Could she be?
She's definitely Luke's,
Luke's
daughter.
daughter.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah.
Who's Mummy Skywalker though?
Uh,
Well, that's the thing,
Who
because
did
again,
Luke
they've
use
already
Luminous
established it's
on
not Mara Jade, which it was in the
yeah, so
expanded
that's-
universe.
Okay.
So I doubt she's going to come into it. They've kind of already fucked off the expanded universe.
It was
Let's do what
Lando.
they like now.
Yeah. Could be the midi-chlorians again. Luke's been shagging the
Could
Force
be
and getting
Leia.
it pregnant.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be... No, that's just too weird.
No,
No.
I'm going to maintain that it's Lando.
Pretty
Well,
sure it's
he
not
is
that
smooth
dead.
talking, though. Like, you know, if he could talk Luke into bed. Just a nice nod.
No, yeah, just a nod.
Um,
I agree, but I won't vocalise.
but then, again, it makes it more of a family story. You know, if she's going to be... You know, she's fighting Kylo Ren. They're cousins.
Yeah.
You know, keep it in the family.
They're either cousins
Yeah, very
or
much so.
Brother and
there
sister.
is brother and sister option.
Well, whether she's also...
Han
They're
Solo's.
twins.
Mm.
That's the other option.
It would go
Well,
in.
they seemed really worried that
the
they'd lost
repeating
their son.
history, manifest destiny thing that it seems
Yeah,
to be
if they
pushing itself
if they
down
were
as fast
taken
as it can.
if they were taken under different circumstances and she was actually taken from her parents a lot younger, they may not recognise her because they didn't know
That would have come.
Kylo Ren was.
I would have thought that when they're talking about missing their son, there would have been like, oh, at least
And
we've
the
still
daughter
got a
too.
daughter to find or something.
She's very naturally forceful, so
Mm.
I think
Ooh.
some lineage is going to be in there somewhere. Maybe even
Oh yeah,
to-
without a doubt.
Did Obi-Wan ever have any kids?
Well, no Jedi's weren't allowed, were they?
Well,
Well,
Yeah, but you say
That was why Anakin went bad. Because of the old. with the-
because he had sex. What is this? A Catholic sort of Catholic allegory?
Well, there is a
Yeah.
religion that came out of the whole Star Wars thing, so you know,
Yeah,
maybe,
yeah.
maybe there is some weird rule
What
that
nerds.
nobody
I don't think
knows
they
about.
actually follow any practices though.
They're
They're
about
just
to
like
yeah.
pissing off the census.
So they hate condoms.
Ah.
we ended on that.
Anyway, yeah. So Rey's definitely somebody's daughter, and whoever that is probably has powers of some kind.
Jar Jar.
So do you think? So we're probably going to see Kylo Ren again.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
We're going to
Oh,
see
yeah,
Rey
yeah,
again.
yeah.
With
He
his
survived.
Cyril sneer mask.
That's the question. Did Kylo Ren lose his hand? Definitely had big.
No, he didn't.
I thought
No,
he
she
did
slashed
for a
his
moment.
face.
Yeah.
She had a face scar.
slash, but just before the slashing of
Yeah.
the face, I thought, well, bit of a handy
It's always a
moment.
risk in Star Wars. They're quite prone at lopping off arms,
They-
even.
But no,
C3PO
the
now
next
is-
the next shot, his hand was still there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I did look
See
out
the
for it.
hand.
in his
And I
other
think
hand.
They would have made a bigger deal out of it if he had lost a hand.
I know,
Yeah,
a little
it
bit dark.
flicked
there.
off into the distance somewhere.
definitely. Yeah, with the lightsaber still attached.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, yeah, he kept his hand. Although I did think, oh, look, Jesus, he just lost his hand. That's a bit on the nose, isn't it? Oh, no.
Actually,
On
go-
the nose.
go-
Yeah.
Going back to speaking about kids and Lando, though,
Oh, right.
Okay.
Oh, what's he been
Finn.
up to?
Oh,
Yeah.
Finn
Yeah.
was taken from his family just after birth.
Yeah, I did
And
think
trained up.
maybe.
Um,
There was only a very small hint there.
Yeah, but it's still nestled in
But
there.
they've left that open, I think.
But then to make him FN2701 or
2187.
287, I don't know. Yeah, FN.
Numbers.
Yeah, that'd be like, oh yeah, let's just take a really big character, just dump him, just give him a code, or just put him out of the way nowhere. I mean, it wasn't like he was a special stormtrooper; he just had morals.
Yeah,
and that's what drove
Yeah,
him.
that makes him
That's
quite
pretty
special.
special.
I mean, to me-
All the others don't give a shit.
No, they don't really.
It's
was that
it's
one
very
with the
unlikely he's
big
going to
arm
be
thing?
Lando's son.
Oh,
But
yeah.
Well, then you've got
I think
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
to
a
have-
cool lightsaber. I've got an arm thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
actually,
that-
Trader, like, there was a bit of a relationship going on there, but that wasn't explained enough for me.
With who?
what was it?
Well, when he has his first little lightsaber fight
With the
Mayweather
badass
with the
stormtrooper with the arm.
Traitor!
thing.
Yeah.
But
The nightstick.
like, how do they
That was
seem to
good.
just pick up the lightsaber and be awesome with it? It's like
Well,
I
they
think
were,
it's not
they
really
were, they? It
awesome.
wasn't that
It's
good.
just-
not,
Smash,
not like
smash,
awesome,
smash.
awesome. But
I mean,
they-
most
yeah,
of us
but
probably
like,
cut our arms off.
Exactly, like you know, it can
Ow.
chop through anything. Like, and they seem to be pretty well. We got the basics down. Let's put it that way.
Just start a really sort of dangerous hairdressing.
Shit.
How close to show do you want?
That was totally a Russian guy who started cutting people's hair with a sword and fire. saw a little news story on that quite recently.
Russia.
Old sharp fire.
Okay, quickly running through some of the other characters. Poe Dameron, played by Oscar Isaac.
I like
That's pretty good, pretty cool.
I
Cool
like
guy.
Oscar Isaac,
Funny.
and he was
Yeah.
good in this.
I really liked him escaping with Finn from the big spaceship.
The
and,
Star Killer.
and their instant bond between each other. That
Yeah,
they,
nice little bromance briefly.
yeah, they hit it off nicely.
Yeah.
But
Well,
yeah,
there was a lot
they're
of cheese
escaping
comments.
together and they're so excited about it. That the moment he
Yes.
says, "We're gonna do this," and fuck yeah, we are. You need that positivity.
It did
to escape from enemy
instantly become palpable excitement.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
go on, do it, do it, you can do it, yeah.
And it was a good space fight. You know, him flying and shooting and taking him through. Actually, that's one of the other things I liked about this is like the computers they used, like the computers they had in the TIE Fighter and the computers they had in the Millennium Falcon. It's the same computers that they had 30 years ago. It's not like they've gone, well, let's just fuck that off and just have new computers. No, when he's in the Millennium Falcon on Jakku fighting, it's the same vector graphics. From
Yeah.
1977.
If it had suddenly gone all Minority Report, it'd been like, what
Yeah,
the
exactly.
fuck's
I was
this?
Yeah.
so worried it was going to be like.
And it's great
IT
to
have
see
got
as
to be
well.
IT have got to be pissed at Kylo Ren though.
Oh,
Just taking out a whole console.
Yeah, he's got
it felt like a sketch,
Yeah.
but I did enjoy that.
I think he's got anger issues.
But it was good to see sort of that shade of him, that he's got this temper that he can't really control and can get the better of him. I think it makes him a bit more volatile than Vader.
I think that's actually partly down to the fact that he obviously knows he's not all dark side.
Yeah, and he's
Yeah.
fighting with that in himself, which
Yeah.
makes him more interesting as well. There is a feeling of like Muppet Babies about all these young scouts running around in the
That's
Star
it,
Wars
but I
universe,
think-
but they're also all quite alright. So
Plus, it like Poe, I thought he was kind of old school Star Wars. His character,
Yeah.
like the way he was
Yeah.
kind of flying around and just the way he was talking inside his little pod and stuff. It was all very kind of like
he had a Han
Luke
Solo-ish
Skywalker.
vibe, and
Yeah,
it was
let's
weird.
go! Woo!
Yeah.
Like,
I hope to see a bit more of him in what's to come.
Okay, right. Domhnall Gleeson playing Ginger Empire man.
Bad guy with a hat on.
Was
Yeah.
not keen on
No.
the very English accent he decided to put on.
Yeah.
I
Very
liked his
hammy.
eyes. He had lovely eyes.
Quite cold eyes.
Well,
Yeah.
the Americans like to throw Britain as a bad guy.
It's just
We-
tradition now, isn't it?
Yeah, well, we are the old enemy for them, and there's something kind of malevolent about us.
Well, top dog of all then would be Andy Serkis mugging his way through another.
Yes, Snoke
Yep.
was great. Is he called
But who
Snoke?
is he?
Snoke.
Where has he come from?
Where
Yeah,
does he
why
go?
is he massive? Is he actually
Or
massive?
is
It's
that
just
just
a big
the-
projection.
No, I
It's
think
going
that's
to turn
just
out to be that big.
Okay.
Now just
I can't
boot
say.
him off a ledge.
No, I reckon he will be really, really big. Because in all the other projections, they've all been very much the same size as
Well,
their
they've all been
character
really
actually is.
small.
Or tiny.
Yeah.
You've got pocket size, or you've got life-size Palpatine going around.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it's just because most of the other characters he plays are quite small. I want a big guy this time.
Maybe.
Yeah, because
Or
King
like
Kong
King
was
Kong.
big enough.
Yeah.
Totally missed that. Yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, so his origin, where he's coming through. I mean, how did he get into this position of power of of the First Order and what control he has over Kylo Ren?
Yeah, well, he's obviously his
Synergistic management solutions.
I was going to say mentoring evil, but what you said is basically the same.
Potato, dildo.
Yes.
Let's call the whole thing off.
Okay. So, anyone else got anything big to bring up before we move on to scores?
I was just thinking that's quite interesting within this particular film is there's no like big war speech. Like usually most of the Star Wars, there's always like a big speech of
rallying the troops.
there's like
For the bad
millions of people and stuff, and it's all going.
Donald Gleeson got one for,
Yeah.
for all the
stood in front of
stormtroopers.
everyone going, look.
Yeah,
my
but
impression
like
of Christopher Lee in
The
2000.
good, the good guys didn't have their big pep rally.
yeah,
No.
but as well with it,
You won't
with
listen
the
to
kids,
Chewbacca.
there was no real kind of oomph behind it though.
That-
It wasn't. It was just kind of like blah
I
blah
don't
blah.
know if it needed it.
It was like
Yeah,
no, but
I-
that's it. But it's just interesting that most of these films always have this big, like, let's go get him.
Well, they had the one where they were looking at the plans. They go, "Oh, look at that Death Star, and that's bigger. What should we do? Let's work it out.
I really didn't like that.
Yeah, that was bad.
Let's MacGyver." shit
Yeah,
out
that
of this."
was a revolution hinging on two people saying that they can just do something and then not explaining how they're going to do it.
It was
And then
Well,
everyone else
actually, no.
accepting that.
Yeah, everyone
Finn
just
did
goes,
say,
"Oh,
I
yeah."
can do that. And then they got there and he went, I have no idea how I'm going to do this.
Actually, that was one of the jokes I liked. Is what are we going to do? Well, maybe the Force will help us. That's not how the Force works.
That
But I
was good.
suppose it's just that, like, oh shit, we've got no ideas what we're gonna do, and somebody goes, I know, yeah, we can't think of anything else. Let's just go with it. Okay,
Yeah.
woohoo. And then
But
that's that.
it's the bit where Han Solo says, "I'll get you under their shields, and we'll land you on the planet, and it can happen." And then Princess Leia goes, "How are you going to do that?" And he just goes, "Oh well, you wouldn't like it if I explained it to you." And then she accepts that.
Yeah.
She's
As
the
a general.
Okay.
of the Revolutionary Army. She's going to want to know exactly how every part of her plan is going to work out.
And it also it wasn't a trap.
No, it was nice to see the return of Admiral Akbar, and
Did
I'm
love
very
it.
surprised he's still alive because he always struck me as very old.
He's aged.
How do you tell?
I don't
know.
know.
I don't
He
know
the
just had
lifespan
that
of an Akbar.
mannerisms of an old wise
Maybe
man.
he's a Time Lord.
Well, that adds a
I
whole
think
new
that might be
dimension.
mixing universes.
Just saying.
Yeah, you say that. He's actually
Big
from a planet
sword.
called Mon Calamari.
Really?
So the script is the planet he's from is called Mon Calamari.
Sounds delicious.
Yeah. You like calamari, don't you,
I
Valley?
do. I love
Yeah.
calamari.
Hey, everyone likes calamari.
Yeah.
I noticed in the credits that Nigel Godrich, who's the sort of wonder producer behind all the Radiohead albums, was a stormtrooper.
Was he?
Yeah,
Nice.
that's an interesting credit in there.
Oh yeah, was Simon Pegg in there as well?
Apparently,
Yeah,
not sure who.
apparently.
Yeah.
Oh, he was the son
Oh.
that they steal
Yeah,
the
that-
power from.
But it does say on here that apparently Simon Pegg has no role whatsoever.
Yeah,
according to the
uncredited.
list.
He was the
Well,
Force.
They haven't figured it out.
He was just in the
I
background.
read an excerpt of an interview with Daniel Craig, because Daniel Craig is also rumoured to be cameoing in it. When they asked about who Simon Pegg was, he was like, "Oh, Simon Pegg's not in it, and he's really bitter about it. There's a feud or something like that."
Oh, really?
Was he
Yeah.
cut?
He's still credited.
Edit it out, Simon.
He could just say he's in it. Is that as good?
Yeah, he's just one of the thousands CGI'd.
He had a name on the
We're all
credits. I just can't
stormtroopers,
remember.
isn't it? Did you not see us?
exactly.
Actually, looking towards the end of the credit list, there's a whole bunch of people I never saw. There's one guy who's credited as Jedi. He's called George Leon Martinez.
There is also another
But
guy
there aren't any
who
Jedis
is
yet.
bus stop
Good
boy.
boy. Yeah.
Where the hell was the bus stop?
Yeah, right.
Any ideas?
I don't even know if they had buses back then.
No, well, no, we're all looking at paper.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right. Okay,
yeah,
somebody
yeah.
say something. So,
yeah, bus stop boy.
shall we move on to scores? Anyone else got something big to say?
I quite liked Han Solo's death face. It reminded me a lot of
Oh,
Qui-Gon
yeah.
Jinn's death face.
Oh, I've been
Oh.
curled.
I
I
didn't enjoy that. Not really.
You didn't enjoy the death of Han Solo?
I just felt it all came about a bit lame.
He fell off a bridge just like Luke and
No,
stuff.
but then-
Not really.
It
Right,
was
this-
just, again, I think it comes
stabby.
back to the dialogue. I just
Mm,
it just felt a bit. You know, for such a big character like Han Solo,
Yeah, it
you
wasn't
want a
very
bit more
dramatic.
happening. Yeah, that okay.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah,
I
it
was
was-
lacking. Tension,
Yeah,
drama.
tension. Yeah, you never really believed that he was going to turn Kylo, did you?
No.
No, it
No.
was,
Because
no.
when
It's
you were
all
saying it, you're like, well, surely
coming.
this is the end of the film and it's all going to be happy ever after. If Cotty goes, okay, Dad, I'll come home now.
Yeah.
Also, like,
Where's Uncle Luke?
Especially when they put all the dark red lights on. You're like,
The thing is they haven't seen each other for very much, and I'm a bit gutted. He wasn't like, oh, how's Mum? Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
not words.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
Are you
Like,
treating Mum better?
Yeah, exactly.
What happened to my goldfish?
also, the rage of the Wookiee. I'm a little bit disappointed because through many of the Star Wars moments, even when playing chess, this guy will rip your arm out of its socket.
Yeah.
Kill his best friend, shoots a couple of stormtroopers. I wanted to see him ripping people
Yeah.
apart.
He injures Kylo Ren.
Yeah, he shoots Han's son for doing it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but he rips everyone's arms off.
Yeah, but it's
Yeah,
only
no,
a
he-
12. It can't be too gory.
Yeah, those are all
You
U's
can-
and PGs. Is this the first one to go up to 12?
Is it?
Yeah.
But how was it?
No, Revenge of the Sith.
I think it's maybe the torture theme.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
that
because it's
was-
the darker one.
Because it's
It's so dark. Oh.
But yeah, there wasn't enough rage.
I was a little bit annoyed by the amount of callbacks they crowbarred in.
Oh, it was
Yeah.
very fan servicey.
Yeah.
Very much so.
No,
Oh, I'll
I
just
like
accidentally
that.
turn on this thing from the first movie. I'll turn it off again.
Yeah, the chess set.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Oh, okay,
But
fine.
you are in the Millennium Falcon, so.
I know. I was so excited when the Millennium Falcon turned up.
Actually, that's another thing. At the beginning, when they think it's when they first go to the Millennium Falcon and they're like, oh my god, here comes the bad guys. And it turns out to be Han and Chewie. They hide, but they hide in Han's secret smugglers bit,
Yeah.
which.
Well,
Well, it's the secret smugglers bit. You're not supposed to just kind of walk into a ship and go, we can hide there.
huh?
That's where something's
Well,
hidden.
there was a leaky pipe.
Didn't
They
they-
had to
did
lift
they-
the hatch that was
did I
quite
miss something,
obviously outlined in the
actually?
floor.
Oh, okay. No,
They hit that after turning on some toxic stuff.
Well, they were going
Yeah,
to while
no,
they were
okay,
down
well,
there.
I take it back.
Okay.
Unfortunately, knew
Oh, yeah, you
a
went-
wee during that bit, so I left, and when I came back, Han Solo was in the film, so I missed his introduction. So I was really gutted with it. Actually. So was it good? I missed it.
Well,
It was
It was alright.
just- he just
The actual entrance itself.
You tripped.
Yeah.
He comes on top of Chewie's back with his arms spread out wide. Like,
It's
banging
dead.
head on
No,
the beam.
Chewie. Oh.
Well,
And the
they
king of the
decided
world.
they decided to unfix the thing, and they went down there, and he just went.
What you doing down here, boy?
Get off my land.
Cornish smugglers.
Yeah.
What you doing down here,
Well,
boy?
to be fair, it was pretty much
Yeah.
a Star Wars context of that, really.
Well, how did they end up on his freighter that he had?
Well, he picked them up.
Yeah, he scooped them up in his.
Yeah,
weird
he
dragging
he
mouth.
noticed the Millennium Falcon on his radar,
Okay.
and he went and
was like,
picked it
I'm
up.
fucking having that.
Yeah.
Okay.
But generally, though, I really enjoyed Harrison Ford's performance. He definitely wasn't phoning it in.
Yeah.
He felt like Han Solo. He'd done a good job. I didn't think, even going into it, I didn't know obviously he was going to die. I didn't think he was going to stick around for a load of films.
yeah.
As I said
Yeah, no,
earlier,
I
it took
thought he'd be in and
$16
out.
million to get him to come back. He's not going to do a crap load, so.
I did think it was really going to be a cameo, like one or two scenes in this one. It was in a
No,
lot more
no.
than I
Yeah,
thought.
I was really surprised.
Again, that's J.J. Abrams probably trying to bridge it between the old films and the new films. Bring in the old characters.
Yeah.
Whether we'll see Leia in the next film. Obviously, we're going to see Luke, but
I
So
think
is
they-
the next film Episode 8, or is it one of these side films?
no. What the next
Oh,
one
it's
that's coming
Rogue
out?
One.
Yeah.
Well, Rogue One's coming out next year. I don't know when Episode 8's coming out.
Okay. Because Rogue One's going to be something else entirely then.
I think that's set around the time of New Hope or before New Hope
Oh, okay.
in the timeline. I'm not sure. I have to check that.
Could
And
be
then
the
is
story of
there
how they
going
got
to be
the
a
plans for the Death Star.
there's going to be a Boba Fett one as well?
Oh, that would be cool.
Oh, I don't know.
Rogue One is going to be just the architects screaming at Darth Vader that's a ridiculous
Yeah.
plan for a ship.
Yeah. What was it? We got told the actual sum of money that it would cost purely in the volume of steel.
Yes.
560 quadrillion.
Was that it? Is
That
that the
was
figure?
I thought
Doesn't
that
even
was
factor in all the
what
builders'
yeah.
teeth.
Does that money?
Yeah, yeah.
Does that money even exist?
No.
Apart
And
from
that-
in the
not
world
right
of
now,
Parliament,
no.
government
That wasn't even
bullshit.
taking into consideration the flame paint job.
Yeah.
They-
Go faster stripes.
They are travelling faster than light. I think you can definitely forgive a few skips like that. oh, how would you possibly afford it on the budget from the Empire? Nah, that's not a worry.
There'll be some nerdy bastard who's read all the books and he'll work out how much money it costs.
Yeah, to do the paint job.
Well, that's
I
why
hope
the
so.
next film's going to be all about tax credits.
Oh no, George Lucas is directing again.
You know what? I really miss the trade negotiations.
Yeah.
Treaties.
There weren't any filibusters.
No.
The shit.
Nobody voted even once.
No. I don't think anyone even said Senate.
Yeah, there were a couple of CGI
Call it a
shots.
Star
of the
Wars
Republic.
Tone's all wrong.
Not one trade
No
embargo.
CGI pairs anywhere.
That's a good thing. Again, I think the best thing for this film was just getting George Lucas to fuck off and having a just minimal involvement.
But it missed one of my favourite characters, which was the Emperor.
But it had a version of the Emperor.
It had a good
Snoke,
version of
but
Darth Vader, but I thought the other guy had nothing.
You
Nowhere
didn't
near
like
as-
Snoke?
No, I didn't like
Yeah,
Snoke.
he was
I know
nowhere
he's
near
not
as
got
happy as
much,
being
yeah.
evil.
Apart from now, him and what's his face,
Gleason.
Kylo, have
Oh.
matching scars.
Yes.
Andy.
He's had the whole top of his head caved in.
Wow, we've
Yeah,
still
how
got a
did
bit,
that
bit,
happen?
bit to go.
Do you reckon,
He's working his way there.
do you reckon it's quite pussy? You know, he has to put a bit of gauze in
He
his head?
definitely needs to put
Oh,
ointment on that on a daily
balls!
basis.
It's weeping again.
Maybe,
Judith, Judith,
That's actual dialogue if you haven't seen the film.
I need redressing.
Well, that could be his thing, you know, like the Schiffer from Casino Royale with the little blood trickling out. Just be him just with a wad of pus just falling out of his head. It's all sorry.
Not to people out with it like chloroform.
Yeah. Pus.
Anyway,
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
So, scores? Anyone?
What was we scoring? Is it
Big points?
5 invisible Wookiees out of...
Yeah,
What?
which way?
yeah, which way
are
are
we
we
going?
which
10, 5, or...
scale are we using?
Okay, let's go back to the 5.
Right.
And you can use half measures if you like.
How many Wookiees?
Invisible Wookiees.
Invisible Wookiees.
Big lacking Wookiees.
Huh?
What?
is that a score?
Is that a score?
No.
Why invisible Wookiees? They're not invisible.
That's to
They'd be
there's
more
only
dangerous
one.
if
No,
they were.
no, there were
There's
60 Wookiees in the film.
Oh, Jesus.
59 invisible ones.
I
I actually meant to say Ewok, but let me...
Whoa!
I
Right.
Bigger myth.
I think someone may have forfeited their score here.
I could have got away with that, but no, I have to own up. Yeah, there wasn't enough Ewoks in it. Well,
I
there
think
Why
they
didn't
missed
Lumpy
having
work?
Lumpy in there.
Lumpy.
Oh, have you not seen? In 1978, they did a Star Wars holiday special with Chewbacca's family.
Oh, yeah.
His son's called Lumpy.
Yeah.
If not, if you go on YouTube, John Tron has done a review of it in his Stargate episode. Check it out. It is ridiculous.
So as with Letter Media.
Jeff,
as well.
the band Jefferson Starship do a song in it.
Not Jefferson Airplane.
No,
No.
Jefferson Starship.
Okay, so how many of Chewbacca's children out of 5?
Oh, we're looking at
Yeah,
me
we
now.
were looking at
Okay.
you first.
4.
4?
Mm.
Not 4.5? Not 5?
No,
Not
no,
3?
do no half measures.
No.
That's
No.
for others to do. But no, I loved the movie. It felt really Star Warsy. Some beautiful, beautiful references, but so many cheesy one-liners.
Yeah.
I didn't need that. That could have been less of that. But yeah, loved it. I would happily go and watch that movie right now again. And it's been a long time.
I did.
There was a guy on the news who was watching it 6 times in one day.
Oh,
Who's
gosh.
this?
Just some guy they were interviewing on the news or saw it in the week, and then in a passing comment he also went, "Oh, and I also have 25,000 action figures."
Wow.
Not of Star Wars though. Oh.
Did he call them action figures or his friends that turned out to be action figures?
They're probably still
They're
all in their
collectible.
boxes. Dust them every night.
I don't know. I had to go back to work.
Okay, so take
Chris.
4 out of 5.
Yeah.
Christopher.
4.5. It was stunning from
Yeah.
beginning to end. There were niggles. There's always going to be niggles. I've never
Mhm.
known a perfect film. There were a couple of annoyances with regards to the script and the previously mentioned crowbarred callbacks,
Yeah.
but all in all, I'm enamoured with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Salt.
Yeah, same thing, I reckon. Like 4.5. I mean, it was Star Wars. It had the whole feel of Star Wars. The CGI, the cinematography was lovely, I thought. But again, for me, like I said earlier, it was just the script was just shocking. I think it just sort it out. That's what I say.
But you still give it 4.5.
Yeah, like it was good. Like I enjoyed it. But I mean,
Cynic has surprised us.
but it
Yeah.
just needs. It just
Well, we were going to get a 3 from
just
that corner.
needs sorting out. I think. Like, just tidy it
chair.
up a little bit. I think, and just kind of. Sort it out, you know, but yeah, so,
Sorry to interrupt there.
but yeah, so just sort the script out, I think, and put just more emotion into it, and then I think it'd be up there. I reckon.
Pete?
You are going to get a 3 from this corner.
Ah.
3 from me. It's a good film. Yeah, it's alright.
Do you think if you were a Star Wars fan, you'd give it a 4?
I don't know. I think if I desperately wanted to see it again, I'd just watch A New Hope. Because it's the same fucking film. Yeah, it's alright. It's a new
What
version
score
of
do
A
you
New
give
Hope.
to A New Hope?
3.
There you go.
So it's a New Hope.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright,
That's
don't
the
worry.
end of that.
Seb?
I'd give it a 4.5.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. I'm a huge Star Wars fan. I've loved it since I was a kid, and this feels like the old Star Wars. It feels like, you know, he's picked up the balance. Like you say, there are flaws in it. It's not going to be a perfect film, but I enjoyed it. You know, we said about the script being hammy. Yeah, it's hammy, but then there's a lot of hamminess in the original scripts as well.
Yeah.
And the guy who wrote this is one of the same guys who wrote the original scripts, Lawrence Kasdan. He wrote the original Star Wars films.
Yeah.
So it's going to be all similar, but I really enjoyed it. I wasn't sure about it. When I watched it on Thursday, I came out and I was just a little bit, alright, I've got to think about this. But I woke up the next morning and I was thinking about it and I just thought, I really did enjoy that.
I was about to say, what was it like on a second viewing compared to the first viewing?
It was enjoyable. I could, you know, because I already knew the pacing, what was coming up, I could sort of focus a little bit more on bits that I wanted to, and I enjoyed it just as much because I felt a lot of excitement when Poe and Finn are in the TIE fighter escaping. Found that really exciting. That bit was like, I was just like,
brilliant.
oh yeah. And also the Millennium Falcon chase when Rey's piloting Millennium Falcon and Finn's shooting. I found that more exciting the second time because I could take it in a bit more. It wasn't like, oh, there's a space fight. I could look at it and go, oh, I know where they're going. And yeah, I enjoyed it as much on the second viewing. I'm glad I saw it twice.
Okay. Sandra?
I'm probably going to go with a 4.5 out of 5 as well. I thought the visuals were outstanding. Some of the scenery was beautiful. Like all the greenery and the big temple thing.
Well, you
the
love trees,
burrows
don't you?
shut
So.
up.
Who doesn't?
And
Dislikes trees.
I like.
Forest.
Fire, demons.
Brazilian farmers.
Sorry, Doug. We interrupted.
That's it. Ridicule my score. I've lost where I was going now.
You love the scenery
You
and
want
the
trees.
greenery.
I liked the mix of old characters and new characters. I think they've learnt very well from the prequels, not to just shove in a load of new stuff. I thought it was really good. I like the really strong female role in it as well. I'm just gonna get that in again.
No, do it.
Oh,
I
going
think-
back to that, are we?
I think that's really refreshing. I love the droids. I don't care what Alex says. I love the droids. I thought they're really cool and cute. And I actually thought the humour was really good. I found myself laughing quite a lot, but then I like really bad rubbish jokes. So it's not surprising, really.
Okay.
There we go.
Well, you know what, for me right now, I kind of want to go 5, you know? I just
Wow,
want it so
that's
much. I know that
Take
tomorrow I'm
What?
going to take it down a notch.
Well, what you've actually written down is 5 out of 4. so I mean, that's
What that represents is 5 right now, probably 4 tomorrow. Once I've calmed down a bit, I was so excited whilst I was watching it. I've not had a film make me that excitable in a long time. Well, actually, Mad Max. So
yeah.
But like,
earlier
did
this
it?
year.
Did
No,
it
the
fulfill-
excitement had nothing on Star Wars for me from Mad Max.
Yeah.
By the time we actually got to the cinema and sat down, I was on about 14.
yeah.
I went a bit mental about how excited I got for it.
Yeah.
Just that.
Oh, yeah. As
Star
soon
Wars
as,
comes
I've
up.
never had that feeling with a Star Wars movie.
no, as soon as those the yellow writings started scrolling up, it's
Yeah.
just like, yes, this is amazing. I'm so up for this. So amped.
I do want to just ask a question
Yeah.
of Pete. So obviously we've said, how excited we felt with it. He's episode 14. What film has made you feel like that excited? What do you think about it? What's the film you've been most excited to ever see?
What like anticipation beforehand or in the
And
cinema?
the excitement in the cinema, all of it.
That's a vast question. I don't know. I've watched so many movies, but
600 or over 600 this year.
yes, over 600 this year. Fury Road, definitely when I was watching it. I had no interest in Mad Max before I saw it, but when I was watching it, I just loved it all the time. As for films that I've gone to see that I just couldn't wait to see, probably nothing that any normal person is really hyped to go and watch. The Lobster. I was like, oh my god, I'm going to watch The Lobster.
Under the Skin.
Yeah, Under the Skin, absolutely.
Yeah.
Under the Skin was incredible for that.
So I was just
I
intrigued.
think you've just got a non-mainstream taste. You're quite.
My film of the year's Inside Out. Isn't the massive hit? It's a movie for everybody.
Which I have to say is really surprising.
Okay, I loved it.
Oh,
Absolutely
Inside
loved
Out's
it.
amazing.
No, but knowing what
Knowing-
your opinion of kids'
Other-
films.
Yeah.
do you know?
But also one of your
Well,
favourite
it
ever
raises
films
them up.
is Totoro. So
Yeah,
he's got a light side in there somewhere,
somewhere. Yeah.
hidden deep beneath all that cynicism.
Like most Star Wars baddies.
You
Well,
are
well, the
Kylo
current
Ren.
one.
I was bringing it back to Star Wars there.
Yeah. Okay, so
I'm gonna go home and have a hissy fit in my computer corner now.
He's going to take a Sharpie and just draw over his computer.
Yeah, that'll fix it.
right, so I was massively amped for it, and I just love it. It's just so good. It's everything I wanted it to be. It's so good. So yeah, the crappy dialogue, particularly in the first half. To say that the script is bad is mean on it, because it's only the dialogue that's a bit hammy. The actual script and the structure of the story throughout the film is
They've done
fantastic.
Yeah.
Like this scene leads to this scene leads to this and this. Brilliant, perfect. Absolutely love that part of it. The hammy dialogue can be forgiven. It's very hammy. But
No,
don't worry.
it's the same story.
That's okay though. It's the structure of it is
The same.
brilliant.
Well, you could say
Scene
that about
for
Return
scene.
of the Jedi.
This leads to this, exactly.
Yeah.
All of that. Perfect. Loved it.
Oh,
I
yeah, I would say
think,
that.
I think J.J. Abrams has opened it up to a whole new generation. He's kept all the good bits of the old, and he's ignored the prequels, and so there are kids out there who are going to be feeling exactly like kids in 1977.
Yeah, and that is
Yeah.
a great thing. I'm really glad about that, because it's as much as I might not engage in Star Wars, it's great to love something, and if you are mad for this stuff, then great, have a blast, go and see this film. I'm not going to stop anyone
No.
from feeling that. I just don't.
Yeah. In terms of for a Star Wars film, it's a 5 for me. Right. No, come on, say your score.
I've just seen it out of 5.
Well, 8 out of 10, so 4 out of 5. It was good.
Thanks,
you,
Pippa.
Phyllis.
Hill, what's your
I was
score?
going to say Cristiano.
It was that good. Unscorably good.
It's so out of this
It's
world.
infinity out of
Numbers
infinity.
don't cover it.
Jesus, I'm gonna fucking edit that out. That was awful.
No, I
Right.
like it.
No, you
You know, people get to see an insight into your life. It's great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's fun.
See that level of respect
The
that
thing
I get
is,
on a daily basis.
from the podcast so far, all we've established about Pip is that she goes to bingo
And play Scrabble.
and plays Scrabble.
Play Scrabble, yeah.
It's all about the games.
Yeah, it's quite gamey.
Well, thank you
Like
very
a-
much for
like
this
a
long,
deer.
Alex.
Yeah, that'll do. That'll be the ending.
Thanks, Mr. Alex.
Thanks,
Thanks
Mr.
for
Gray.
everybody.
But I
Star
hope everybody
Wars.
else enjoys it.
Star Wars, Star Wars,
Yeah, that's-
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.